Warning: the following content may contain elements that are not suitable for some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back to the Bard's Playhouse Presents Tales from Shadow Valley, Season 4, Episode 30, Palace of the Pallid Princess. Ooh, that looked gnarly. Ouch. Thank you so much for joining us. Now let's bring in our wonderful cast. We have Eldritch as Conne, the bloody Rizzolo.
Always great to be here, and I'm feeling a little bit better from last week.
That's good to hear. We have Shane as Umbromancer Zeviid.
I can't feel my arm.
That looked like it hurt.
I am my funny bone.
And Elliot as Rhys Guiltleaf, the Heartseeker.
Unfortunately, my bones aren't funny, they're just sore.
As always, I am Lumbee Bronzearm and will be your DM for today. Last time, Lux Et Umbra took a slow look around the lowest levels of Urgathoa's Palace of Bloodrot. Having slain and captured the shadow of Minister of Tumult Yukiko, Lux Et Umbra moved on from her bedchambers. The freed elf Tessarael slowly had her memories return to her as all moved quietly through, warning of a room of trapped pressure plates. Easily performing acrobatic flips across the floor, Conne popped a lock with some cheering on from Rhys. A powerful arcane lock blocked their way further until Pipette and Conne worked together to disable the rune with the efficiency of a bomb squad. Taking the lead once more, Conne rat-maxed into the garden filled with pungent purple blooms, being tended to by a familiar Karumzek Alchemist Spider-bot. Though she disabled this bot in a flash, Conne hadn't noticed the pollen in the air and became paralyzed on the spot. Neither Dani nor Rhys recognized these flowers, but Zeviid did. Ghoul Blooms, flowers capable of paralyzing living creatures and slowly transforming them into a ghoul by the next midnight. Holding his breath, Zeviid rushed in, dragging out Conne and the bot, but not before noticing a strange glow beyond a door. A strange jade chalice, carved with intertwining snakes, sat in a cloud of golden magical spores. The iconography upon the cup stumped Wyssilka and Conne, having grown up in the circus, but Dani and Zeviid were able to put their heads together and realize it was a dedication to Nalinivati, the Serpent's Kiss, goddess of snakes, fertility, and sorcery. With Gork and Mork as his conduit, Zeviid contacted Nalinivati, who beseeched the Umbromancer to sever Urgathoa's hold upon her. Pulling with all his Kabriri-infused might, Zeviid managed to remove the chalice from the spores, freeing the Queen of Nagas from Urgathoa's thrall. In the deepest parts of Yukiko's garden lay a Royal Basilisk nest, laden with cracked eggs. Never missing an opportunity to raise a beast from birth, Lux Et Umbra carefully sent the one viable egg, the Windseeker, via magic mailbox. Am I right or am I right? Where's
You're
the
right. Whatever.
I feel seen, that's for sure.
The bedchambers of Yukiko now fully explored, Lux Et Umbra took the magically revealed stairway up. Blocking their path was an enormous plagued giant zombie, snoring loudly upon a pile of broken rocks and sharp wooden poles. Stealth being one of their strong suits, the group decided to split up and creep silently past the sleeping guard. Rhys, Dani, Tessarael, and Wyssilka discovered an arcane prison for a Venedaemon, a pact-forming daemon floating in stasis. By the logic of the enemy of my enemy is my friend, it was decided to free Urgathoa's prisoner. Rhys pulled out a fire arrow, into which Dani sang a minor key bardic enchantment. Scratching out the arcane sigil with the flaming arrow, eventually the daemon was freed. Confused at first, Kath'Shaz The Unfaithful was only too eager to offer Lux Et Umbra his assistance in ruining Urgathoa's plans. Conne and Zeviid discovered a letter written in Urgathoa's hand to Minister Yukiko, offering a tantalizingly vague look into her plans. Yukiko was to guard the Planar Lock upon Abaddon, while Light's Void, the Shadow of Urgathoa herself, is to guard the throne of the Pallid Princess. Deeper into Bloodrot, behind a nondescript door unceremoniously unlocked by Conne, writhed a massive burning salamander, 30 feet head to tail. Remembering the strange dreams and musings of the salvage menders, small creatures who lived on a floating island of garbage in the ocean, Rhys realized this was their god, the Great Firemander. Lux Et Umbra looked at each other, nodding in agreement as to what needed to be done. Zeviid conjured a link to the salvage manders so the faithful creatures could watch their god be freed of the bonds they saw within their dreams. Conne disabled the janky devices and chains, freeing the Great Firemander, who was truly grateful. In the rooms beyond, Lux Et Umbra disabled the sewer outflow, stopping the pouring of poisons into Lake Lilypond. At the northernmost section lie 3 odd rooms. Each seemed dedicated to a different powerful entity. A stained glass piece featuring Zura, she who savors flesh, the first vampire, a carved stone shrine to Diomazul, the Serpent of 80 Blades, and an enchanted sarcophagus containing the corpse of Ceyannan, Shepherd of Last Words. Zeviid communicated with the slain Psychopomp Ceyannan, learning they had been sent by Pharasma to bring Urgathoa to stand judgment in the Boneyard, as she had evaded her fate by becoming the first undead. Ceyannan was slain by Urgathoa, and kept here as only one of many such grisly trophies of death. That's where we come in this week. A whole lot happened, a whole lot was uncovered.
I have a couple comments.
Yes, what's that?
So, first, just on the rat-maxing term, do you think before she had pest form, Conne was like stretching her snout in the mirror to like rat-max because that's like the most attractive Wyssilka looking more like their rat counterparts, or?
Dude, this is what ideal Wyssilka form looks like. You may not like it, but this is what it looks like.
Oh my god.
There's like a Chad Wyssilka that is just a giant rat. They don't even have any humanoid features at all. There's like this weird obsession to look.
Nothing.
You have to look more bestial to look more attractive for some Wyssilka.
Exactly.
All right, that's the first comment. Second, that was so fucking funny. I have to just commend you for that. Never once to miss a chance to raise a creature from birth.
Seriously.
It's
How
so
many times
specific
now?
to us.
It's
And
extremely
it's like, you
We
could
are
have said it nice.
just-
You could have said, hey, never once to, leave
A creature
a
behind.
young creature unattended and not be their parents. No, it's like never once to like insert themselves in the lives of these creatures.
Where's the lie? But
It's true,
where we
though.
come in, you have all apparated onto the ground level of Bloodrot. You have discovered there was a scroll of Fireball that Conne had Pipette eat. So Conne, if you had forgotten, you just learned Fireball as well. You determined that there was a book upon this table here that gave instructions to how to teleport to the Maelstrom. So you determined that more than likely Urgathoa, when she left Abaddon, she has gone to the Maelstrom for some reason. And the other thing I should remind you of is on the western side of the room where Rhys is standing, there's a glass case with a large iron key. The key is about this big, like one of those comical key to the cities you see in movies. It's like literally like that. And there's, I believe, a door to your south and an archway with a small stone step down to your north. And I have opened up the northern area a little more just to make room for the pets.
Also, just to let Shane know, Rhys has picked up lore Undeath. So if you ever need to have another person roll alongside you, he can aid you.
Yes, because Rhys can change one trained lore skill every night on a long rest. And on the last long rest, he switched out lore Sailing for lore Undeath.
I forgot to mention it.
Nice.
What ability get like? How do you do that? What's your ability?
It's
that does
some elf feat. I don't remember which.
Yeah.
It's an elf thing. You wouldn't understand.
Keep your
that?
secrets.
I wouldn't understand. Yeah, keep your secrets then. All right, cool. Well.
Yeah. So,
I see that there's like this flammable book in front of me, and I just look at Conne, and I'm just like, don't do it. It's not worth it. Not here.
okay,
With
but
her lighter
also,
already out.
You've got the fireball in your hand, like ready to go. Like.
but also, there's a key with Conne's name on it right here. This looks like Conne's key. If keys were to be for Conne.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll go investigate.
Okay.
Yes.
Preemptively getting her
door?
little pickpocketing tools out.
Sure, roll me a crafting check and a thievery check, both publicly.
Okay.
In that order.
Is this a door right here?
I'm gonna help aid in thieving.
You see where my cursor is?
I do
The south?
not.
You don't see that?
Oh, that.
little-
Yes, that is a door, yes.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to know.
So crafting and then thievery?
Crafting
Okay.
and thievery, yes.
I aided with thievery.
Okay.
At you.
Oh god, okay. And you can add 2 because of Rhys there, Conne to the thievery.
Fantastic.
Good god. Okay, 46 and a 45. Yeah, Conne, you recognize that this key is definitely to a very large gate. You can be fairly certain it's the front gate of this palace.
Ooh.
Yeah, this probably opens the front door. And then with that thievery, you're able to use your claws, just like in spy movies, to kind of cut a circle into this glass, and pop it off, and you can swipe the key with no trouble with that roll. Absolutely. But this is almost assuredly the front gate key.
Yeah.
And you now possess it. I'll put that in your inventory.
The front gate key to Conne's house.
Perfect. Yes.
Anybody ever watch The Princess Bride?
Oh,
yes.
yes.
One of my favorite lines is when they finally get to the front gates of the castle, and they say, "You there? Give us the gate key." He goes, "I have no gate key." And he goes, "Fezzik?" Tears his arms off. He goes, "Oh, you mean this gate key?"
Yes. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a Rouse mention or not when you said Princess Bride or not because of
rodents of unusual size.
Rodents of unusual size. Yes, perfect.
And changing colors and new eyeballs. She's just
There's
like
a lot.
She's
a kaleidoscope of a
She's got
character.
her
Running
stuff.
that movie.
I'm gonna open this door.
All right. Let me open up that. Like
I say,
this.
knock, knock, hello. I open up.
Knock, knock. It's me for real. A red woven rug lies on the floor of this short hallway. 4 statues of skeletons corner the walls, and a carved fountain of a gargoyle-like humanoid drooling blood sits to the east upon a staired dais. To the south is a closed stone door, and to the west is a barred wooden door.
First,
I'm going to say you are sensing beyond the barred door, due to your necromancer's visage, a lot of undead. You can almost...
That's over here on the
to
west end.
The west, yes. But you can almost feel it. There's a lot of undead on the other side of that barred door.
Hey, don't go through the barred door yet, and let's be quiet.
Gotcha.
Because there's a lot of enemies. I just want to examine these statues. They're just statues. That don't feel like those are stationary undead that are just waiting.
Correct. They are carved of stone.
Okay. What about this dais with the weird drooling statue with the blood?
Roll me a lore on death.
Ooh, I can
Ooh.
aid.
And Rhys can aid.
Rhys.
So Rhys first, and
Let's
then
see if you know your stuff. Now, what is the purpose of the scripture that's written here, and what's the difference between this and the Nexian version of the same statue? I'm like quizzing you.
Okay, that's definitely a 2, and you can give yourself guidance for a 3.
And
Okay.
Rhys gives you like a half-assed answer because he's just like, the Nexian is the one who's next, and the other one I can't remember.
Oh, close. You
So that is
see,
a critical
the
success.
European versus an African-tailed swallow, and the difference.
But that is a critical by 2. A crit would have been a 46. So you recognize that, number 1, this is not a gargoyle. It is a depiction of a Nosferatu vampire. Very easy mistake to make. But as you're making that realization, and I'm going to give you a reaction to try to avoid it because you got that crit, you realize that this statue is enchanted to cast a paralyzed spell on any leaving creature. So I need both of you to roll a reflex save to jump out of the room, or you're going to have to make a will save. And the DC of this is going to be 40, so 1 second. Okay, go ahead and make a reflex saves.
Reflex save. I'm like, get out of here!
Yeah.
Good.
Yes, you
Nice.
both just managed to. So you're both going to need to make a will save, but I'm going to give you a +2, and the DC is again 40. So roll will saves at a +2, both of you.
Okay.
Oh.
That is a fail for. Oh no, but you. Oh, you just can't critically fail, I think. So you both do fail. So let's see. Paralyze. What is the regular fail of paralyze? You are paralyzed for 1 round. So as you both are stumbling out of the room, much like Conne in the Bloom room, you become paralyzed and fall over. Conk. And
But then
That
6
was
seconds
too
later,
close.
we start to like move again like the Tin
Yeah.
Man.
Oh.
yeah, exactly. And the other thing you realize with your critical lore undeath is that the blood that's dripping from the Nosferatu statue, if an undead were to drink it, it would probably heal them.
Ooh.
I like as I'm getting up and I'll go, all right. First of all, enchanted statue flashes a paralyze effect on anybody that goes in there. So be very careful. Secondly, It's oozing blood. Dani, you could drink the blood if you can get past the paralyze. So, there's that. It would heal you if you're feeling like you're not at full health.
I'm not, says Wyssilka. I got banged up a little bit. I could try it, I suppose.
And are gas immune to paralyze?
They are very immune to paralyze, yes.
Oh, I say Wyssilka, you can just
as our
walk right in
elves.
there.
As our elves, I suppose. So
Wait, hold on.
So
Rhys,
Rhys, you wouldn't have. Rhys, you didn't get paralyzed, I guess.
Rhys, I told you
I
to
forgot
dive
that.
out of the room. I'm
I
like,
did-
get out of here! And so you dived, but then
Okay.
you're like, why did I dive? And I was like,
I had forgotten that. Yes.
Cool. Rhys is just like, yeah, buddy, you gotta be quicker than.
wait a minute, are you sure paralyze is
It
something
might just
that,
be the ghoul paralyzed.
Ghouls
Oh,
are
yeah,
a
it's
ghoul
just-
fever doesn't affect. No, wait, that's not true either.
I think it's the ghoul paralyze, but I think it's just ghoul paralyze. Let me double check,
Yeah, double check that because that's important.
because this is important. Ghouls. Paralysis. Any non-elf creature hit by a ghoul's attack must succeed. Yeah, so it's just ghoul paralysis. So you did become paralyzed there, Rhys.
Okay,
Okay.
so we
that was-
rewind the tape.
Rewind the tape. Yeah.
Mandela effect. I
Yes,
remember that
but-
differently.
Both of you became paralyzed, so it's only the ghoul paralysis that you're immune to. But Dani is undead, and Wyssilka is a ghoul who is also undead. So the two of them are immune. And Wyssilka
Wait, undead
will
are
walk-
immune to paralyze? Only them?
This specific paralyzed, this enchantment that is on this specific statue.
Got it.
So Wyssilka's going to go in and take a big handful of this blood rushing from the Nosferatu's mouth, drink it, and is going to recover 8d8 hit points.
Can Dani have like some? Does Dani have something on her that, or Wyssilka, that could be like bottled, so like quick blood if needed for heals?
More than an empty bottle? Yeah, Conne, you would have more than enough of
Yeah,
those.
plenty.
Yeah, so...
How many
yeah,
would
me
you
get-
let Dani and Wyssilka have?
One each would be fine.
Okay.
That's a very good idea.
You're welcome.
So... Bottle of
Dumb.
undead healer blood potion. Just what whatever.
Yo ho ho.
And I'll write down 8d8 healing. There. Cool. So Dani and Wyssilka have one of those. And let me see. Wyssilka is going to roll a perception check on this closed door here.
You will try.
Some of you may fail.
It's a
Some of you
risk
may
I'm willing
die.
to take.
That is a
All right.
sacrifice I am willing to make.
She comes over back to you and says, "Well, I don't hear anything on the other side of that door, but I don't know. I didn't hear much. There's something clattering on the other side of this barred gate, though." Which you already know, Zeviid.
Oh, it's undead. Tons of undead. And I don't know what kind, but there's a lot, and I don't want to deal with them right now. Especially because I want to see what's in that south door first.
All right. Let me see if this one is locked. I don't remember. It is not. So you can do stealths. You can do perception checks before you open. Whatever you want to do. However you want to handle this.
I'm going to dive across the room and then push the door open and try to get through before the thing flashes me.
So you're gonna just straight open it.
Yeah.
All right. Opening this door.
Ha!
And then I have to make something visible. Then it's all the way to the
Uh-oh.
top, of course.
This room
there it
has a
is.
denizen in it. Oh, hey.
A large wooden table beset with chairs sits upon a ragged red carpet. At the south end sits a heavily armored, purple-skinned undead reading a missive. At the southeast corner is a spiral staircase going up, and to the south is a closed wooden door.
Sweet. I kind of burst in here, but then I straighten up as I realize I'm not paralyzed, and I see there is an undead here. So I decide to rely on my necromancer's visage to protect me here. Just as a reminder.
Yeah, what does that do exactly? This is very important.
Undead creatures can immediately sense my necromancer's visage and tend to act accordingly. If I take hostile action against an undead creature, it becomes permanently immune to my visage. and it ends, but I can spend 10 minutes to restore it, though any creatures that become permanently immune remain so. Each time an undead creature 2 or more levels lower than me attacks me, it must attempt a will save against my spell DC. If I'm also affected by Sanctuary or a similar effect, only one affects the attacker. Oh, okay.
Okay. This
So
is
if
actually
she wanted to
stronger
attack...
than you.
Oh, well...
Yes.
Then she would feel it, but she wouldn't be
So she understands
compelled
that
by
you are
it.
a necromancer.
Yeah.
Very cool.
But I stand up and I kind of straighten, kind of.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
Please calm yourself. May I ask your name, Grave Knight?
War Master Yarick.
And I say that is your first failing. I am an intruder. You should be demanding my name first before giving me yours. Urgathoa would be very displeased with this.
Interesting. And as she stands up, again I ask, what is the meaning of this intrusion?
My name is Zeviid, an Umbromancer, and I'm here to set things right with this place. You are loyal to your master, are you not?
Of course, all here within Bloodrot are loyal to the Pallid Princess, as should you hope to be as well.
Indeed, except is she loyal to you?
What heresy is this you speak?
I only ask because she's left the palace and locked off the plane and is conspiring to destroy everything, including Abaddon, including you. This would lead to the destruction of everything. What possible thing could she gain from sacrificing so much? And more importantly, are you willing to be a sacrificial lamb to her megalomaniacal whims? And I want to use a lore on death because I know a little bit about the Pallid Princess.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
What I want to do is I want to cite some of Urgathoa's sort of tenets. I just want to see how much I would know. I'm mirror pointing that.
Sure, that was very bad. Let me change the DC as well. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hero points. There we go.
That's significantly better. 43, so yeah, what would you like to know?
I guess I'm taking a guess here. You just kind of tell me if it's right. Urgathoa's whole deal is she escaped death by becoming the first undead, and so her goal is sort of the rise of the undead as a prominent force in the multiverse. However, if you destroy the multiverse, it goes against her own tenets. So what exactly is she to gain? And if she's going against her own doctrine, are you okay with that as an undead? I'm a necromancer. So in Zeviid's voice, I am a necromancer. So it is within my best interest to allow a world that those like you, Grave Knight, what's her name again?
Yarick. Yarrick. Yarick.
Grave Knight Yarick, that you can do your duties freely and for as long as eternity allows. If eternity ends, then how can you do your duties?
You make a strange bit of sense.
I do not come here as an enemy of you. I think you are loyal and I respect that. Any master should respect that, and it does not seem that your current master does.
But she's promised that from the ashes we will rise, as we did from the bodies of the dead. Why would she destroy it all if she has no plan to bring it back?
Don't take my word for it. And I want to use Memento Mori to call upon one of the shadows I took, the shadow of her second in command, and I would like that shadow to give us a clear answer here as to what the plan actually entails.
Shit. Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Tumult? There she is. Yes, okay, so you make the much more shadowy than this, but I can't on the fly Photoshop something, I know. But the shadowy body and face of Minister of Tumult Yukiko, the right hand of Urgathoa, appears as sort of a minor illusion in front of you from your staff. How does this look when you do this? You've never done this before.
I clack the staff on the ground, and a shadow stretches from the bottom of the staff and then like rises up from the ground, but it's always connected. And it takes her form, and she just kind of like floats there listlessly. She has her poise, but she kind of looks sort of lifeless because she's not alive anymore.
It's not even her, yeah.
And I say, this is the shadow of Yukiko, the Minister of Tumult.
Mistress Yukiko. And at this, she puts, War Master Yarrick puts a hand on her war flail that's sitting on the table. And she's, what happened to you? What did you do to her?
Yukiko, would you please explain to us what the ultimate goal for Urgathoa is? Because we don't actually know specifically what her ultimate goal is. Mm-hmm. So I would like her shadow to spill the beans.
Hell yeah.
The Pallid Princess is working with the stupider gods, manipulating them in order to destroy what has been worked so hard for. To bring about the renewal of the multiverse. It has been prophesied that at the end, the last remaining god will be Pharasma, who will start anew the universe once more. Urgathoa intends to attempt to usurp this position, to become the first in the next.
And not only that, but to use Rovagog to hasten the process. Make it happen quicker, sooner. No kingdom of the undead, nowhere for you to serve. You and I and everyone else, we don't get to exist anymore. Only your Pallid Princess. We don't have a place in that world. She has given up on this universe. She has given up on making it into the world that she promised she would make it into. She's instead decided to start new and throw us all in the trash heap. Now, tell me, Yarrick, do you believe that this is a noble cause for undead? To destroy them all? That's what Pharasma wants. Urgathoa is just doing it for Pharasma and taking her place. She's betrayed her kind.
I want you to roll a public religion instead of diplomacy at a +4 at advantage.
Ooh.
That was all really
Ooh.
good.
That was solid.
Because I don't want to just say that works, but I want to let it.
All right, well, there's a 14.
Okay,
that's already pretty good.
That's already pretty good.
All right, yeah, 14. So that'd be 48.
14 for 48. War Master Yarrick's grip on her war flail lessens. It falls back on the table. She looks to you and looks to the shadow of Yukiko. And she says, That makes so much sense. Her plans seem so chaotic and destructive. I hadn't dared question because I am a soldier. Soldiers do not question.
But this went all the way to the top. Yukiko knew. And she knew that she could have a nice decadent lifestyle all the way up until the end. She would be spared the worst of Rovagug's rampage as she served Urgathoa to the last moments. She was going to betray you as well. But we've taken care of one betrayer today. We have one more shadow to add to the staff. I think you know what I mean. And I recall Yukiko's shadow.
She sucks back into your staff, and the War Master looks around before she whispers, "Light's void."
I do not pretend this to be an easy fight. But my fight is with Urgathoa, not with those that she fooled and tricked and lied to. You and everyone in this place has been lied to. That is why I've come to give you a chance to join a new side. A side that actually cares about the undead. Ghouls, vampires, it does not matter. You would have a place in a real kingdom.
She looks behind you and sees Wyssilka and sees Dani, aghast, and a sanguiphage vampire. and looks further behind still to see the hollow serpent husk. Behind that, even Mycelium and the corpse commandos. These skeletons, this snake skin, a vampire, a ghast, and a necromancer, all working together for the same thing, to save this world. She says, "The forces behind here that I command are mindless. They'll follow Urgathoa's and the Light's Void's command over mine. I have little actual control over them if I help you. But I could potentially point them in the right direction. Or the wrong direction."
You can lead them away and pretend that we are somewhere else.
I could raise a false red alert to the west.
By the time the Shadow understands what is really going on, we would already be engaged with it.
Exactly.
This would be incredibly helpful, and it would be the first step to righting what Urgathoa has done. Tell me, how long have you been a Grave Knight?
Over 400 years now.
I kind of touch the amulet, the true name amulet, and I say, what if I told you that there was a god of undeath before Urgathoa? Before her usurping? She said she was the first undead, but she was not the first god of death, nor the first god of the undead. There was one before her.
Truly.
What if we restored the true and rightful heir to this place? Would you serve that god?
The true lord? The first lord?
And I say the name Eshtabai.
You can see shivers run down this creature. She says, Yes. Yes, I will help you with this. I will need to get the front gate key. It is behind all of you, but I can rouse the troops to get out.
Then we have a covenant. Where is the Light's Void located? And I gesture to the stairs, like, is she up the stairs?
No, this room here goes to, it is a banshee that she's been holding prisoner. Light's Void, you'll need to, there's a little, through this door just to the south right here, and to the west you'll find a room filled with many Nosferatu. They are easily drunk, easy to manipulate, they're stupid, but take the stairs up and you will find in the northwest, or northeast, a large tower. That will take you up. You will need to prove you are undead and prove that you are faithful to Urgathoa. It is the only way to access the throne room. And I think with that, we need to jump to intermission because I see Ash jumping into Fantasy Grounds. So we'll see everybody in just a couple of minutes. We will have Dani with us. We'll hope to see you shortly. Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're back from intermission. We've got the whole dang family with us. So, where last we left off, Lux Et Umbra was on the ground floor of Bloodrot, the palace of Urgathoa, and Umbromancer Zeviid had just convinced War Master Yerrick to turn coat on Urgathoa and release the guard out into the wilderness on a false goose chase. So, Yerrick is going to say, I'll need to get the front gate key, but here. And she looks into the other room and sees that there's a big hole cut into the glass case and says, I see you already got to it. Which one of you has it?
I think that would be Conne, our resident thief rogue extraordinaire.
Fine. She'll pull it out of a pouch, but I want it back.
No problem. Lock the door behind me. And she comes over here and lifts the bar. And I'll show you what you managed to avoid fighting. So you see a large room, or two smaller rooms, which open up into an outside area that you can see is covered in wood, and there's a large pyre burning. But what you see is hundreds and hundreds of skeletons in just a writhing swarm around this pyre. And to the far west, outside a metal barred gate, you see wandering back and forth about 50 feet high, a skeletal titan wielding a rusted pitted sword covered in vines.
Dani, does Dani see this?
Yes, all of you can see this.
Dani just looks at Zeviid and goes, "Oh no, we're not gonna have that many followers, are we?"
We just avoided that, and should all things go well here, these might be late-stage recruits in our fight against Rovagug. If we play our cards right, but we have to play our cards right. Let's let her take care of this, and we need to find that shadow.
The Grave Knight
Absolutely.
walks into the room, closing the door behind her, and she yells, "We have a red alert! We need to move out! All forces, mobilize immediately! Grab your weapons and move out! March, march!" And then you hear the gate mechanism as the gate is lifting up, and you can hear the clatter of bones and the marching of weapons as you hear them slowly move away, and over the next several minutes, the rattling of the ground ebbs, and eventually all is silent.
And there's the stairs we need to get to is over this way too, right?
There are multiple ways to go. You can go the spiral staircase in the room you're in right now. War Master
She said
Yerrick,
it leads up to a Banshee prisoner, which I'm very interested
it's
in
just
releasing.
it's one little room, but it's a Banshee's prison. Yes, but there's also a door to the south of you.
Okay, so team huddle, but not in this
team
room
huddle.
because you will become paralyzed. So let's everybody meet me in here.
How do we get in there without getting paralyzed?
You just dive across.
Yeah, just go.
Oh,
really
okay.
quickly.
Yoop.
If you spend 60 seconds in there as a living creature, you have to roll saves.
Oh, okay.
You don't even really need to dive. You can just go across.
Cool.
Screw that, I'm diving.
Oh yeah, same.
I just
Fucking
stomped
somersaults with a
across.
backflip at the end. Stick the
gotta.
landing.
Got
I
it.
just take my time.
I say to everyone, like, all right, listen. We just bought ourselves at least 10 minutes, at the most a half hour. That's good, but it is limited, which means we need to move quickly after this. She said that there was another prisoner. I think she was charged to guard this prisoner. It's a banshee, which is an incorporeal undead that can scream so loud that you can just immediately die. There's probably some sort of ward in place to prevent that from happening to any of the living servants that are here. However, it is something that we need to be aware of. However, they're a prisoner of Urgathoa. Just like this person turned on her, I think we can convince them too. In fact, and I look to Dani and Rhys, as Dani is undead and Rhys is very well, I guess Rhys, you're not like high charisma, but you have high society.
I have high society, yes.
If this person was like a noble in life, you might be able to assist Dani talking to him. I think you should,
Pretty
you two
much,
should
yeah.
lead the charge
Yeah.
and like see if you can convince her, or like gather information about her, separate yourself from Urgathoa, and see if releasing her would be a good idea.
I mean, I could always also use lie to me. As well.
Yeah, worst case scenario,
So worst
she
comes
could
to
also just be a
That
wild
takes some-
card that's like
Yep.
bad, right? You know,
Lie to
who
me
knows?
takes 1 minute of talking to someone, so that could be going as you start speaking to them.
I think you two should negotiate with her, and then I think Conne and I'll back you up, Conne. If you want to search this floor for goodies and secrets, I'll support you and make sure you don't die.
All right.
Any of the NPCs that want to follow Dani and Rhys may do so. Like if Wyssilka or somebody wants to go with, that's fine too.
I think Wyssilka will go with Conne and Zeviid, because she's sneaky, and Tessarael will go with Rhys and Dani.
Elf crew, got it.
Elf
It's
crew.
elves against the world.
Elves against everyone else.
So, against the world.
The key to the trap door at the top of the spiral staircase was left on the table by War Master Yerrick. So Dani and Dani and Rhys, was it?
Yes.
Dani and Rhys and Tessarael
And
will go
Tessarael,
and
so
parlay with the
Dani,
Banshee and see if she's someone we can
Rhys,
work with.
Is it
Tessarael.
possible I can read her mind while I'm talking to her?
You can try. Okay, so I'm gonna open a new map, but it's a very small.
What if, as a Banshee, you just read her mind? It's just just all like constantly.
Fucking psychic damage.
That's just me
So-
all the time.
As you
Great.
unlock this trap door, you're able to pull yourself up into a small room. It should be in the bottom left of that page, just a little square spot.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Opening the trap door reveals a large chamber. Oh, and I need to put something on the combat tracker as well. Well, why did I not have that?
Also, it just dawned on me that they're keeping someone locked away in a tower, and Dani has first-hand experience this, as does Rhys, as someone who used to visit her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. Go on to...
That was an accident. I just trusted my gut. I was like, I feel like these two are right for the job, and I think it's gonna be good.
That was a good call, yes. Then I can put it on the map. I should have had that taken care of ahead of time.
Also,
Apologies.
everyone, Howl has his
Yes.
bow tie on for the new year.
He is so
Oh.
dapper.
He's so
Look
cute.
at that handsome man.
The handsomest. So, sorry for that delay. Here we go. Opening the trap door reveals a large chamber filled with art of Urgathoa. Statuary, paintings, and tapestries line the walls. Before a large curtained window looking out upon the swamps of Bloodrot is a blue, transparent specter of a woman with long hair. On the western wall is a glass case containing 3 scrolls.
I'd like to slowly walk up to her.
Me when I wake up, am I right?
Are you sneaking, or do you just walk up? How do you
walk up.
approach this?
I walk up to her,
Okay.
just not like rushing in, and not sneaking in.
I'm
but we
also
essentially-
gonna do a society roll just to like observe, so I could help aid Dani talk to her.
Okay. I believe that was a very high. Yeah, 48 for natural 17, extremely high, Rhys.
Yep.
Okay. So you're just observing from the back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Tessarael, seeing that this is a banshee, is going to roll occultism. See what she can know, because that's going to be her best. Okay. So Dani, how do you approach? I know the results of those two so far.
So, she locked away, correct?
She's not really locked. Well, she's been trapped in here. Yes. Locked in this tower, just like you.
Okay.
She's
So-
looking wistfully out a window.
How long have you been stuck in here for?
You hear a gasp as she turns around to see you. She looks to you and says, "You are not the War Master? Who are you?"
We are a couple of people who... Okay, hold on, before I say that. Does she look aggressive? Does she look like she's anything like that? What can I roll for
No,
that?
she does not look as aggressive as she does in the image. She looks... Actually, give me a perception check in the tower.
That's good, because you said wistfully, and I just looked at her image and go like, like that's how she
She's not as
wistfully
aggro
looks out.
in the image.
Oh shit! I meant
I'm
to.
trying to
Oh wait, no, I did it. So.
I'm trying to find my perception. There we go.
She looks sad.
Mm.
Oh wait, that was Rhys. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Rhys, you get that she looks sad. Dani, you can't tell.
Could I make a suggestion for a way to introduce yourself? And then you could go from there. I think it'd be a really good start. She says, "Who are you?" You say, "I was one locked in a tower much like yourself."
Yeah.
Great
That's
way
a
to
good
I
start.
was thinking of something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, Rhys, you pick up that this specter seems very sad.
Okay.
And is there any place that she can sit down? Is there like any kind of...
There's a
Like
chair on the
chairs.
western side. I can circle it.
So Dani just walks over and she
That-
sits down.
Okay.
And she folds her hands in her lap and she looks at her. And she says the same exact thing that Shane just said. I was once locked away as well.
You gotta, yes. I was gonna say, you have to say it. You have to say it.
I was once locked away in here as well. I understand the longingness of looking out the window and wondering what's going on out there while I just waste away.
And Rhys kind of like interjects after that, and he just goes, "And I know how sad it is for you to go through that, as a person because he looks over to Dani. I was the friend she needed when locked away. So possibly we can help you out.
So we can be a couple of friends. We're just a couple of people who could be a couple of friends to help you get out of here, if you so please. We're just
In life, I believe I had friends. Of my family and friends did not accept my love. The princess said she would bring him back from the boneyard for me. If I told her where my mistress, patron, lies. I need both of you to roll me religions in the tower, and Rhys, I'm going to also be using your society you rolled a minute ago.
Okay.
Can I have something else apart from religion?
There are 3 scrolls on the table you are sitting at.
Okay, I'll try religion. It's not good.
Neither of you recall anything of a religious nature of what she's talking about, but there are 3 scrolls next to you. They are titled The Lay of Arden and Lysina, The 7 Pangs of Longing, and Xander and Veltel. The third of which rings familiar to probably both of you, Dani and Rhys, because Xander and Veltel, if you recall, in the session where Dani got married, under Shadow Valley, you found a tomb.
Yeah.
The Tomb of the
Yeah.
Lovers, who were essentially Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
So you remember that when Zeviid was doing this the ceremony, he spoke on Xander and Veltel and mentioned that they were the faithful of the goddess Nadiri. Because you don't remember the religious aspect, but Dani, you remember the speech Zeviid gave at your wedding. You recall that he mentioned Xander and Veltel and Nadiri. So it's possible. Could this maybe be Veltel?
She looks over at the scroll, and she asks, "May I read this real quick?"
Yes, it is my writings. The lady's holy text. One of 3. The other 2 sit beside. I am Veltel. By what name do you go?
Daniela.
Rhys.
Kitty. Nice to see you. No one visits but the War Master.
Were you a
Was-
princess?
Yes. My family did not accept my love of Xander, a dwarf man.
I married a dwarf man. You can't really tell, but
Truly, how the world has changed. And she looks out at just
Bruce
absentmindedly.
was a dwarf, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a half dwarf. So yes, that's a good remembering that. But she kind of seems to. It's almost like her attention gets wiped, and she looks back out the window.
Tessarael's also here. Is she making
Yes.
checks as well?
Yes, she made an occultism check, but I'll also have her do. Let's see. Does she have anything else? Academia lore. That's a cool one. Come on, Fantasy Grounds. Did you? Okay. Yeah. Tessarael's gonna walk over and say, "It seems that something in this room is enchanting her. I can feel that there are latent magics everywhere in this room. I think perhaps it's wiping her memory every few moments.
Can I
Short term,
dispel?
anyway.
Can I
dispel magic?
Arcana?
Yes, you could potentially do that, I believe. I unfortunately, if I had my access to my spellbook, I could aid you, but yes, I believe you could do that.
I have
Actually,
detect
she-
magic too, so
Ooh.
I could detect the magic and then you can dispel the magic.
Yes, Rhys, you detect that there are definitely a lot of abjurations and abjurative wards in this room that would do things like anchor you, keep you lethargic, make you forget things. There are layers of an onion of security in this room.
Okay.
But Dani, yes, let me see here. What is your... You use occultism, right? Yeah, that's your
Yep.
big one, I think. So I think Tessarael's going to help you with an aid, and she will aid you with... What is your occultism bonus? What's the number?
I have a +4. I have +23 for occultism.
26.
26. Okay, so I'm going to have you aid Tessarael. So roll yours publicly, your occultism. You just need a 15 to aid, a 25 to crit aid. Critical
would
aids,
like-
that's a 2. No, you don't need to hero point anything. That's
Okay.
You're just aiding. So that's a 2, and you can give guidance, so 3. So here we have Arcana for Tessarael. Oh my, 51. Fantastic. Looky there.
Woohoo.
So, Tessarael realizes, oh yes, of course, there's, yes, Rhys, you're quite astute at these things. You're very much a natural at the magic, the ways of the weave. And she and Dani start to work together to, piece by piece, popping arcane locks here, dismissing
You guys
enchantments
are popping and
there.
locking over.
Popping and
there.
locking.
Popping and locking it.
She is a bard. It makes sense. So after, we'll say 10 minutes, enough time to refocus if you need it, you're able to get these abjurative wards and enchantments off this room. And with a 51, that's great. And when you finally get the last of them broken, you can see that the Banshee Veltel shakes her head and turns around and says, I remember everything. Urgathoa kidnapped me, had her forces kidnap me from the boneyard. I was resting there with my love. She pulled me here, interrogated me, tried to get me to tell her where Nadiri's home was, to try and get her to join forces. Promised me, falsely I assume, to give me back Xander as well from the boneyard, but... Oh, what have I done? I've told her exactly where Nadiri is. Oh, the Palace of Eternal Love is ruined. What have I done?
Where is it at?
Deep in the maelstrom. It is difficult to find. You need many different types of sacraments, oils, sacrifices, enchantments. And Tessarael says, "We just discovered that book down in the lobbies. Yes, this is what Conne and Zeviid was translating.
Yes.
It went to the maelstrom, correct?
Yeah.
Sounds like Urgathoa was trying to recruit Nadiri in the Palace of Eternal Love."
Oh, that is
I'm
brutal.
going to message Zeviid in his brain and relay all of this information. It just comes in.
I'm sitting here like watching Conne pry like gems out of a fucking skull with a knife, and like adding it to her little rucksack. I'm just like, yeah, oh shit, oh, and I like relay that to you, Conne.
And then roll a religion, Zeviid, with a +3 for an aid. And, well, let's go with a +5 because Tessarael's so high. No, she's a master? So let's go with 7 for that in guidance. Religion
shit.
publicly +7.
Be like,
Damn.
you could reply to this message.
I rolled low, but I got a 45.
Still, that's really good. You know that Nadiri is the goddess of tragic love and suicides and loves that did not end happily. So this is basically anything you need to know about this goddess. She was once an assistant to Shilin, so that's something you could tell Dani. But Shilin tried to get her to bring a couple together instead of fighting the circumstances that forbade their love. They decided to kill themselves, and that was what raised Nadiri to apotheosis.
Okay, so I think I relay some like the Cliff Notes version of that, and I say there's a chance Nadiri might actually join because she's sort of a goddess of bitterness and loss herself. And what better way to end all loves than to destroy the multiverse and end everything? That's the saddest thing ever. However, and that's also suicide too, so she'd be killing herself in the process. There is a danger that she could join, but I don't know how powerful she is. It might not matter, but right now, I think we need to just focus on killing the shadow, and then maybe we might be able to follow Urgathoa into the maelstrom.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I relay all this information also to Rhys, but in his head.
Also, there's something so fucking funny that I heard recently. So this you said this is Xander and what's her name?
Veltel.
Veltel are basically Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Has anyone here ever played the Great Ace Attorney or the Great Ace Attorney 2, the second one? There is, so it takes place at like 1902 or 1903, and there's a guy, a literary scholar that like is accused of murder. You're the defense attorney, you're defending him. During the night in question, the night of the incident, he goes to a playwright's house. All right, the playwright got poisoned. They think it's him. So they ask, what were you doing on that night? He goes, well, I went there with a gift of tea, and we had a hot, like a very, very like literary debate. Very scholarly. It's like, oh, what was it about? Romeo and Juliet. Oh, well, what was the debate about? Who was stronger? Huh? Who would win in a fight, Romeo or Juliet? Only good scholars. Yeah, it's like, well, I were gonna ask this, but what team were you? It's like Juliet, of course.
Yeah, clearly.
So we both donned costumes, and then I used Japanese judo, and I fucking won as Juliet in a dress. I was like, this game is fucking wild.
That makes sense for Ace Attorney.
I love the idea of taking something so tragic and so like romantic and being like, who was stronger though, Romeo or Juliet?
Yeah,
And we all know
we're scaling.
See, we only know that it's Team Juliet because she literally killed herself when she did not need to.
True. Oh, Lord.
Anyway, I just wanted to share that because it made me laugh.
But now you know all of that where Urgathoa probably has gone.
Do you want to ally with us, and use your skills to help us get through what is basically the end of the world? We're trying to prevent it, and we are going to take Urgathoa down, and every other god that has allied with bringing Rovagug back.
When it's all over, can you send me back to the boneyard to be with my beloved?
Absolutely.
Then yes.
That was the.
I'll join you.
We actually, above to, we have a Psychopomp we got to send back to the boneyard, so we
That's
can
two
send them together.
Yep, you can send them at the same time. So yeah, that's basically all there is to this room. If you want to go, if we can switch back over to Zeviid and Conne, you can close out the one called Bloodrot upper level. And does anyone need me to open up the other one? Okay, so let me.
Cut back. There's like dragon heads here, and Conne, you're just like, just reach in. There's a gem in there, I'm sure of it, and I'm just like arm deep in the dragons, like I don't know if I can reach it. Why can't you do this? And you're like, well, you're never gonna learn.
Yeah, and your arms are like Lobel anyway, so you can reach a bit longer than I could.
The
So
teeth
just
are
keep going,
digging
keep
into my
going.
shoulder.
Don't worry about it. I can disinfect your wounds if you have any. Just keep going, keep going.
I grab it, and it's like a fucking trinket, like a little crystal ball that's not worth shit, and I've got like a tooth sticking out of my shoulder. Like,
Comes with the territory, Zeviid. God.
Yeah,
actually, that tooth is probably worth more than the crystal ball.
Probably, yeah. There's not a lot in these rooms, mostly just refuse, rotten, torn up carpets. Here and there you see some weapons that at this point you would recognize are dark silver. Not nearly as good of quality as the ones you have, but because clearly this was just a rabble of skeletons. But there are some crappier dark silver weapons scattered about.
Are there arrowhead, like, are there like arrows?
Yes.
And I get as many arrows as I can. I'm gonna distribute them to our skeletal bros.
Great. I believe they have the buff already, but let me just double check. Mycelium.
Give
they're
Mycelium's
good.
crew everything that they need.
And also any sort of, if they need to swap out any of their melee weapons for equivalents that are dark, so they can do that too.
Oh,
if they're
Back
the other
off 2
thing
seconds.
is, sure. In just to the south of you is a door that has a window you can see out of. And it is a courtyard that I'm opening up right now. There. You can see it's kind of foggy out, and there is a kind of a gnarly tree on a balcony that overlooks the swamp.
The swamp.
Here, I can actually open up the swamp like that.
Wow, pretty cool. Well, there isn't a whole lot out here.
maybe there's something about this tree. And as I approach, I don't have nature. I don't know enough about int shards, but does this look like an int shard?
It does not. Roll me. Let's see. I'm gonna give you just intelligence because it's possible you would have heard about it.
Okay. All right, +1. Let's go.
Sure.
Let's go.
That's
That's
a
not
14.
bad.
That's
Not
pretty
bad.
good on an intelligence check. A 14. You kind of remember in one of the hyper-manic descriptions of her trip. She's coming. Danny's coming back right now. Zeviid is remembering something you told him. In one of her hyper-manic descriptions of her trip to Castrovel with her grandmother and brother and to Demirius, she described the strange flora and fauna of the planet Castrovel. And you recognize those strange, twirly type branches of one of the trees she described from the planet Castrovel. You're starting to think this sounds a lot like the trees from Castrovel, the native planet of the elves.
Yeah, and I want to see, is there any sign of magical or druidic tampering? Say, I don't know, like a tree stride.
You
that
detect
went awry.
magic? You detect that there are. You can see that there are on the ground 3 circles near it. There seems to have been attempts, but nothing successful. You're getting the sense that they're trying to recreate Tessarael's work and having no success.
I see.
This is not where Tessarael did her work. She told you that was in
I
Fangwood
see.
Keep on Galarian.
I
It
didn't
seems
know
they're
if
trying to
like the
recreate it.
tree she was doing it on like went to Abaddon with her and then ended up here or something like that.
It's possible this is the tree from which she was shunted,
I see.
and they're trying to just recreate her work here. That's your best guess.
I'm not a druid. I ain't a rapper, right? But I'm gonna go up and I put my hand up on the bark of the tree. Do I have any ent shard like seeds or anything like from the
You have an
ent
acorn.
shard?
Yes. Each of you has 1 acorn from Ash the Red-Haired.
Is there already ent shard in Abaddon? Do we know that?
They're not that you know of.
If we oust not if, when. I can't say if.
You can't say if.
When we oust Urgathoa, it might be a good idea to have a quick way to get here, especially if we establish this as a not anti-existence sort of realm. But having a portal to Castrovel, this wild green planet, to the undead palace, kind of feels a little wrong. I'm wondering maybe if we could instead do the Ent Shard at Lilypond instead and have them be the caretakers, because I feel like they would actually, one, they could actually send those that don't want to live on the fucking plane of Abaddon to Castrovel to make a new home. And then those that are, they could have an outpost here of their strongest warriors to protect it or something like that. I feel like that could be a thing. You know what though? I think we could have it here, because I don't want to transplant this tree all the way over there. We could have it here and they would just be posted here instead of out in the swamp. I'm saying this all to you, Conne. You're here present as I'm saying all this.
And Wyssilka's with you as well.
Yes.
That makes sense to me.
Those frogs over at Lilypond seem to really zealously guard their swamp and their village, so I think they're amazing guards. That Sir Hop is incredible. He jumps as far as I do.
I think I'm going to use my acorn on this tree so that if something negative were to happen as a result of this, the blame would not be on your shoulders but on mine. How the fuck do I do this? And I take the acorn and I'm like, do I just press it against the tree? Is there a ritual? Do I have to do a spell? I don't think he knows exactly how it works.
You have the Ent Shard Stride spell ability that has just been gifted to you by Ash the Red-Haired. And you don't so much know, you just feel it. You just kind of know how to do it. You take the acorn in your hand, you find a little notch in the tree, you place it, you put your hand over it and just concentrate for a moment. And you feel, for only the second time, life energy course through your hands. The only other time this has happened was when you raised
Rotrot.
the third time then. Rotrot
Oh.
and
Oh, yeah.
Gwynestraja, when you brought her back from the dead with a true resurrection
right.
ritual. But for the third time, you feel positive life energy flow out of your hands into this acorn, into this tree. And on the ends of one of the swirly branches up near the top, a single pink bud pops out and flowers.
I look at the single pink bud, and I actually feel disappointed. I'm like, if this was Durge, it'd be a bunch of them. So stupid. All right, well, at least there's one. I say it's gonna need taking care of. I look at the water that we seem to be stepping in. Is this, or is it just fog?
It's just fog, yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not like poisonous. It looks green, but it's not like.
It's just because the water around is green. It's not like a noxious fume. It's a gross area.
They were trying to take care of this tree, so
Yeah.
like they did their best not to like contaminate like the soil and stuff here.
This is
Okay.
probably the safest place for it, if there is such a place as a safe place for a tree.
Okay. So I'll give up that acorn and set it here, and I don't think it's ready yet. I think it has to like, it's almost like grafting a branch onto a tree. I feel like it has to like symbiosis like fuse with the
Yes.
tree, and then it becomes a sort of by proxy Entshard.
It will definitely take some time and some tending, but you have absolutely started the process of getting your first Entshard in another realm, another plane of existence. That's fantastic.
At that
And
point,
also,
would
if we're
Rhys
lucky,
be...
we could.
Yeah, you two can be coming down at this point. Rhys, I'll put you here. And it was Tessarael.
If we're lucky, we might be able to, with Dani's magics, she has studied some druidism. We might be able to. Oh, hi, Rhys. Made an Entshard. Don't be mad. I hope it's a good idea.
No, that's a great idea, actually. Can I do Lord Druids?
Yes, do that. Roll that publicly. That's such a cool ability. I forget you have.
Can I do a reroll?
Yeah, you can hero point it if you want.
Yep.
That was bad. 2 for a 27.
Yeah. Eh.
7 for a 30, still not good. You know that about what he said, that seems like when you graft 2 trees together, that will probably work, maybe.
Is
Makes
there any
sense to
I can roll for
me.
it?
You can roll nature.
Public?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna roll nature just for funsies, just see if I'll get higher.
Right,
Oh
a
my
natural 20 or
god!
something.
I got higher. I got a 32.
All right, well, Dani finally succeeded. Yeah, you do know this will take some tending, and in an area with this much evil, it'll probably need some kind of ward against evil. Not necessarily a good ward, but just something
like a purifying
purification.
life ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Is
don't
there
need like a
any-
holy ward.
So there's plants here. Is there any plants?
Yeah, there's mosses and things. Not a lot.
Can I talk to plants?
Yes, you have that ability. Talk to plants
Hell
and fungus.
yeah.
You can talk to the
I like-
moss on the side of this wall.
You can also talk to the
Or
tree
the tree,
itself. That
yeah.
I
I'm
just,
gonna talk to
against
the-
its will, put this acorn in, and I'm just like, you're like, I'm going to talk to the plants. I look at you like, oh shit, did I just violate the tree? I'm sorry. I hope this was all right. The tree's like smoking a cigarette, like, yeah, sure.
Good for you. Yes, you could talk to trees. Plants, what do you say to the tree?
So what do we want? Do we want more trees?
I just created an Entshard. I had the acorn, and I put it into this tree. The idea, because it's a Casterville tree, as I'm sure you can see.
And which you recognize immediately. It looks just like the strange trees when you went with your grandmother to the other planet, Casterville.
She twitches a little bit because she
hold
remembers that
on.
journey.
This isn't necessarily so that we can travel to Casterville from here or something. It's just to get an Entshard here, because if we can get a one-way trip by the end, so we're killing Urgathoa's shadow, we kill Urgathoa, we free the palace, we bring the Lilyponders up here to tend to the tree.
Yep.
We might be able to have enough energy for a one-way trip out of Abaddon, so we don't have to, we still have to go to the Hells, but like we could go the proper way instead of like smuggling ourselves, and then by that point it'll be fine. So once we're done here, we could go back to an end shard that we already know about, and then start again, or we can go on the river Styx, whatever's more
Do
convenient.
you have any questions for the tree?
I just want to tell the tree I'm sorry for not asking. I didn't realize I could ask the tree its permission before I did this, so just tell it I apologize for making that decision for it.
I'm gonna talk to the tree and say, I'm very sorry that my friend didn't ask for consent before he shoved the acorn.
It is far less terrible than what has been done to me by the people of this palace.
Ooh, what has been done to you?
Spells, burns and rips from the weave, failed attempts to get me to do and bend to their desires. My bows bow to none.
Why did they want to do this? What did they want with you?
They want me to send them to my home. Your home. You have the pollen of my peers.
Yeah, I'm an elf.
You have been there.
Yeah, I have. With my crazy-ass brother and grandmother.
None here have been there. I am too weak to do it now, but this gift of life your friend has bestowed upon me has renewed my spark. Potentially I could get you there someday.
That would be lovely.
Is it mad at me?
No, actually, it appreciates what you've done because you gave it a spark to continue going on.
Awesome. Does it want a cigarette?
I think that might kill it more.
Do you have
Well,
a clove?
Do I have a clove?
Do you have a glove?
Even Zeviid would never think to carry cloves. I feel like if anyone has one,
Okay, no, he would have them so
No.
his ham could taste good.
Cloves.
I wonder. I think he'd try it. I don't know if he'd carry them on him, but if you put cloves on his hand, he'd be like, "Tam." I think he'd still go for it.
She has relayed the information that the tree has
And
said.
the magic fades after a moment.
Tell well before the magic
sure.
phase, I just like tell her that the Lilyponders, the frog folk, Grippleys, they will be hopefully agree to come to the palace to tend to the tree and purify this area of its taint of evil so that it can grow properly.
And she relays this back. But before after she's done with that, is there any way to purify this area?
I would need a consecrate spell, which I don't think any of you have. You would need like a paladin or a high-level good cleric.
Yeah, not me.
Not you.
Oh, she thinks, oh, we need a cleric, and she looks at Zeviid and like, oh no, never mind.
Not that kind of
I
cleric.
I like pick up a flower and it like wilts in my hand. I'm like, and I just drop it to the ground.
Don't worry, Zeviid will teach you how to how
It's-
not to kill
Wait a
everything.
It's
minute.
kind of like in A Nightmare Before
wait a
Christmas.
second. Hold on. I can
Hmm.
consecrate.
Wouldn't you
I
need the
just
long
have to-
rest at least?
Well,
Or
I just
prepare
have to go through Gork and Mork.
Oh yeah, that's true. But you would need
I
to
just-
prepare it.
I would need to prepare it. And also, how much time do we have with this? Well, we don't have time. We have to kill the shadow first. Then I think we could long rest before we go meet Urgathoa, because her thing's probably going to take some time. But, like, the shadow needs to die first before we do
Yeah.
anything else.
So after she's done, she's gonna turn around. So when do we go meet the shadow?
Well, we must go through here first.
Yep, there's a door there. It's actually a windowed door that is not locked. You can look in if you'd like, Zeviid.
Sure.
Throw a perception check in the tower.
Perception check in
Yes.
the tower. The perception check in the
Fancy
tower.
Grass might be chugging a little bit
Little
slow.
bit.
Yeah.
That would be my fault. There we go. Okay.
What
So-
what we get? I mean,
go.
you don't have to tell what we got. It was good.
Just open up that whole thing, I suppose. That's fine.
Yo!
Then there we are.
Oh my God.
This large room contains several winding corridors. Every few feet is a defensive structure made of wooden spikes. 2 sets of stairs from the north and south converge on an upper level above. Torn and moldy carpets litter the floor, some covered with stained yellowing pillows. Sitting upon the pillows are 3 sickly pale creatures with elongated ears and fearsome, sharp claws, which look like this. Cowering next to the red-eyed creatures are each a shivering humanoid with white hair, making eye contact with his feet. And in the far northeast corner sits a sharp-eared woman clad in fine red and white furs edged in gold. Beside her stand 2 of the shaking white-haired humanoids.
I kind of like whispered to everyone else. I'm like, this is the Nosferatu. Nosferatu are like the drug addicts of the undead world. I was told by our mutual friend Diarik that they are kind of stupid and easy to manipulate, though I'm not sure what she meant by that. I don't have an idea about how we are going to... I mean, I guess Dani has the best ability to get us through unscathed, but we could also just fight them. It would just waste resources.
Or
couldn't
Conne,
waste-
Conne also has the ability to make drugs. She's an alchemist.
That's true. We could placate them with a bunch of blood or something. Then we could poison the blood to make them unconscious, like a sleep thing.
What if we was trying to get him on our side?
Conne, you do have that feat that where you
Yeah,
can
I can
poison
poison
undead.
undead.
You literally took a feat just for this.
I think we could, but the Nosferatu are like allies 1 minute and then biting your neck the next. It's wherever they can get a source of blood from, that's what they'll follow. So the moment they're on our side, if anybody else that we missed in this place comes along and says, "What are you doing?" they'll immediately turn on us. I could call upon the loyalty of the Grave Knight because that makes sense. Like, she is getting fucked if she follows Urgathoa. These guys don't care, I think. And there's also a lot of them. If we could convince that kind of oddly sexy looking one in the back to, like, call all of them off, maybe. But I think Conne, how confident do you feel that we could like maybe fool them into drinking poisoned blood?
The only question I have is the delivery system. Are we just going to have an unmarked bag of blood?
I mean, we can have Dani.
I can go get it. Give it.
Yeah.
I mean, we
She's
have
trusted,
a
she's undead.
supply, which is the greatest thing. It's just that fountain. So if we can just collect that blood, it heals undead, but it's not magical necessarily. I think it's more the statue itself is doing that. If you remove the blood from that room, I think it's just blood at that point. So you can use that blood,
As
fuck
a
with
base.
it. Yes, and then you could do it. So you don't need to like invent blood. You could just modify what we've got.
And she's already like pulling out her chemistry supplies.
Tessarael walks up to you and says, "I do not know how well they'll trust you. If you are confident in your alchemical abilities, you could poison my blood. I've clearly am used to being fed upon. I could be your guinea rat."
Yeah, but there's a lot of them in there.
Yeah,
they
and
could
they're
drink-
Nosferatu. Okay, so you had Yukiko. Yukiko fed on you, but she never drained you to the point where you died. These guys can't discern when to stop. They just go. That's
see.
the problem with them. They get the blood hungry and they just they're never satisfied.
Am I
You could
gonna,
also
am I
put
gonna
them
happen
in
to me?
those plasma fruits that you picked.
Do we want to use the plasma fruit since we have a limited supply of those, and those are kind of
maybe
Dani's?
not.
Yeah,
Perhaps not.
not sure. These are good suggestions. I just thought we just rescued you. I don't want you to then just
Very well.
throw you in there. They just
Yes,
rip you apart. Okay.
That's probably good thinking. Thank you.
Or I can dress up. I have it in my bag as like a little cart person that brings like food. And I could say Urgathoa has sent me to feed everybody. And I can walk in with my little cart and have like tons of
Are you
Blood
gonna be
stuff.
selling merch? Are you gonna have an Urgathoa bag?
I love
Oh
this.
my god.
Urgathoa
Urgathoa.
bag. Urgathoa
Urga-
bag.
Urgathoa bag.
Take a hero point, Con. Urgathoa
Yeah.
bag. Oh god. So this is
Alright.
fantastic. I need
I-
some
I've
crafting
one
and
more-
shit. What?
Oh,
Go ahead.
yeah. So yeah, you should do that. I just wanted to ask our banshee friend. God, what's her name?
Tell.
Veltel. I was gonna say Velterel because of Elturel from Baldur's
Oh,
Gate.
mhm.
Veltel, I say, I don't want to have to call upon your assistance so soon after we've gotten you out of the tower, but I've noticed you don't have blood, and so you
No.
are in no danger from these Nosferatu.
I can even become fully transparent if need be.
I'm wondering, I know a bit about the abilities of the specific undead that you are, the form that you take for now, and I know that to the living, the Banshee's wail is a death sentence, but what effect do you know would it have on these sort of undead that still must feed? Right? They have some biological function, they still have blood in their veins, they must feed in order to continue to exist properly. Do you think the wail would still affect them?
I believe so. Anything that can hear will be affected by my screech. In fact, not many know this. I can scream loud enough to break a silence spell.
Which is by book.
That's fucking awesome,
Yeah.
by the way. That's cool.
Yeah, if you have a silent spell up, it doesn't matter.
So I look over and I'm just like, I'm telling you, Juliet's stronger than Romeo. All right. I think that should be plan B then. I don't want to call on you unless things go south with this first plan. I think the other Nosferatu and the Thralls are going to be fine. It's that Matrix, the bad mommy in the background, whoever she is.
Did you say the Dami mommy in the back?
The Dami mommy in the back. I think she is the problem.
He's been reading your books, Danny.
I'm so proud of him. He
Listen.
even used the proper term.
You were on Casterville for a long time, and I've had my eyes opened. I'm embarrassed about some of the things that I thought, my naivete, and I look at Rhys, I'm like, especially in terms of tying ropes and knots.
Yeah.
However, I've learned some things, and
Call back.
that's Dami mommy.
That was a hell of a
I
callback.
can identify
Oh
them
my
now.
god.
Now, she could be just as much a slave to appetite, but she has a bit of an air of authority based on what so she could maybe be like suspicious of you, Danny. Also, and this is just a gut feeling. I'm not doing no checks or nothing on this. So I'm just saying, like, Danny, you're kind of a bombshell, and if you walk in there and she sees you as like another but very attractive vampire, she might get a little jelly. All right.
I could
And
look
if-
down. I could disguise myself as like a troll.
A troll. Interesting.
Or-
Or you could disguise yourself as.
A Nosferatu.
I point to our elf friend here, Tessarael. I'm like, you could be the downtrodden version of her, and just say Yukiko sent her to feed you, right? But they would know not to feed on her because Yukiko would fuck them up. At least that's what they would believe, anyway.
It's true.
So, Tessarael, you would be helping us, but it wouldn't be you.
Yes, that would be wonderful. I would love to be of assistance. You can take my likeness.
But if anything goes down south, just be prepared.
With
to, like,
Wyssilka, Conne, and
our-
Rhys, you hear shing, and all of them have knives out.
Veltel, I read the book that's very similar to your very real life tragedy. Codename. If you don't mind, I would like to use codename Juliet, if that's all right.
Codename
So-
Juliet. That is lovely.
Juliet over here would come in and maybe disable them with a scream, and we mop them up afterwards if it comes to it.
That sounds good.
I love that.
we
Code
just-
word Juliet. So, we're gonna need some poison stuff from Con. This is the first time you've used this, I think.
Can I aid
Yeah.
with the crafting?
Yes, you aid first, crafting Rhys. You're gonna need just a 15 or a 25.
I'm glad that we're finding like obscure shit to use at this place, because I've got another thing that I still haven't used that you've been wanting me to use
Oh,
a
damn.
long time, and that's gonna happen.
Hell yes. Yeah, that's enough for a 2, and then guidance for a 3, Conne. So you need a 40 to be able to craft some kind of poison for these vampires.
Easy. Oh,
Yeah.
easy. I
Not
hear a
quite
point.
so easy. Okay, that 3 for 38 hero point.
I'm
You just need a 5.
cashing in Urga tote bag.
Good. That's a good use of it. Urga tote bag. Yeah, you just need a nat 5.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Take my hero point. I will give you my hero point.
If you burn one, you can go ahead and take that again.
Thank you. That's enough.
There we go. Net
That's
7 for
enough.
42. That is just enough. So, Dani, how do you aid her in this? Because you helped her with the hero point, and Rhys, you're just being the lab assistant. You know, hand
Yep.
me this, clean this, pour this. But Dani, how do you specifically? Because Conne was about to royally mess up. She critically failed with that nat 1. How do you stop her from critically failing?
I imagine, like, out of all of our traveling, Conne probably has a bazillion vials of things. And I feel like with all of the books that Dani has read over the years, she may have fallen upon a vampire one that said dead man's blood is supposed to poison vampires. And I'm pretty sure over all of the things that we've killed, like, Conne may have taken a little bit and maybe stored it for whatever. So maybe Conne was going for one of the poisons that would, like, hurt somebody normal. But then I'm like, but Conne, I read something about dead man's blood. Did you have that one from one of those fights?
I have an alarming number of people's blood.
I know you do. I watched it.
And Rhys goes and, like, goes through the bag. It's like, this one okay? Here.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That was that
what
one
do you-
fight.
Yeah. And she'll uncork it and pour it in the pot. Stir it together.
A little skull and cross wooden stakes rise from it.
We're just like, we just look at her back as she's just like stirring this thing.
It's kind of like in Black Cauldron.
Conne
Yeah.
is literally legendary at crafting at this point. So yes, it's literally just like a cartoon, a tornado.
And then right at the
Tasmanian
end, a little bit of
tornado.
salt to taste, and we're good.
And yeah, you now have a little beaker of vampire poison. How do you how do you hide it? Because we know what Dani's doing. What is the containment vessel? How are you gonna get these guys to drink?
Is it an orange vessel? Little beaker.
Oh, maybe yes, beaker.
A pig trough. Just a big fucking. Here you go. Here you
What
go.
if-
Drink up.
What if we was to create some sort of, like, fruit?
Ooh, inject it in a old plasma fruit.
Ooh. Could Dani drain a fruit per? How many fruit do we have though?
Say 3.
Oh, that's not enough.
The tree's still downstairs though.
We could take if we have enough
Head count.
one for each, right?
Roll a d6 publicly, Dani, and that'll be how many fruit you have from the tree. Let's do that. 1d6 plasma fruits.
That's 6!
I did not see it.
No! No!
I didn't roll.
Why did it not do the
Probably
thing?
because you didn't put it in the right place.
Yeah, right into the chat box.
I did.
There, right now.
There,
Hey!
there!
Legitimately! Dice gods wanted it to happen. You have 6 plasma fruit, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Nosferatu in that room. 3 males, 1 female.
So I'm.
Rhys just goes through Conne's bag. Here, use this needly thing. Gives
I'm
the
It's not a
syringe.
syringe.
You could drain some of the, because otherwise it's gonna burst if you just pump it full of stuff. You could drain some of it, have a little snack for yourself, and then put in Conne's sort of poison thing. Do it from like the bottom where the little leafy part is, so that they don't notice. they'll go crazy, and then once they're down for the count, we just mop up their little thralls, take them out, and get out of there.
Tessarael tells you,
If you let them know that Minister Yukiko has allowed them to eat this, I think they'll be most excited. She doesn't allow anyone to eat from her plasma fruit tree.
Deal.
As a reward, I think we need to sell it. So when you go in as disguised, Dani, you say, Minister Yukiko has granted you the honor of one plasma fruit each for your dedicated service to Lady Urgathoa and in celebration of her recent alliance. But you don't have to say much more than that. Only the dominatrix lady will probably understand the significance of the statement and give permission to her followers to eat.
Deal.
Okay. And then I pull out my
Yes.
weapon and wait and just
you're able
in
to
case,
do this very easily, Conne. You administer the poison inside 4 of these fruit. You put them on a cart. Dani, with your bardic magic, you make yourself look just like the ragged, greasy Tessarael scars all over your body. You put them on a cart, and you're able to move yourself into that room.
I imagine Tessarael's just like, oh my goodness, that was me. Just like today.
Must be
Just
10
like
minutes ago.
Yeah, like realizing like this morning I was that. Oh no.
He's gonna need some therapy.
Yeah.
Just like the brother does.
Yep, just like air drill. All right, so you're able to move your. Here, I'll move you over. To there.
So she'll just walk in and she'll get like the middle of the room.
Eyes.
I'm like up against the wall. How are they going to see me?
You immediately
I'm-
feel eyes. You know when you're just out in the dark and you feel someone watching you? You get that from all directions. Even though the ones you can see, you know it's from them, and even though you can see them, you still get that, ugh, I'm being watched feeling.
It feels unsettling.
It's very unsettling.
Because even though she's been around other vampires, like they felt more uppity.
These are gross. There's a smell to this area. They don't wash, clearly. The pillows they're sitting on are yellowed from age and use. Their thralls are scabrous and greasy-haired, just lecherous men who look at the floor. These creatures have long fangs and teeth that are yellowed. Their clothes ragged and rotting off. In every way off-putting. Especially to a follower of Shilin, the goddess of beauty.
So she finds the voice to do of Tessarael, and she's like, I have a reward, or not reward, what was the word that you used?
I think it was reward.
Was it reward? Okay, sorry. I have a reward from, what was her name?
Minister Yukiko.
Minister Yukiko. She has gifted these beautiful fruits for the alliance that has happened on behalf of Urgathoa.
The vampires begin to move, seemingly floating above the ground, all nearly in unison as they approach you. And the malefactrix is the first one to speak, she says.
The minister sent these for us. She has never before given us the fruits of her tree. You say it's for the alliance was successful then?
Yes.
Give me your best, either society or either diplomacy, deception, or what's the others?
Performance?
Performance, whichever is highest. Yeah. Deception, diplomacy, performance, which I think is your performance.
I'm going to take performance.
Public
which
performance.
is like a 31.
And then give yourself a 1 for guidance, and then you do it at advantage. So roll it twice.
Dude, a
Plus one.
31? Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yep, but with a 1, it's a 32. So
So
Oh
That's
my
cool. Give
god.
yourself a +1 again and
God
roll it again
damn.
just for advantage, but that's pretty damn good.
Okay. Come on now, modifier. Just work. Hold on. Modifier don't want to work.
If it doesn't work, we can just mentally add a 1.
Okay, there we go. So
All right.
let me bring that back up, and then there we go. Yeah, definitely the
Okay,
first one.
so definitely the first one. Yeah, natural 17 for a 49. You blew past the DC. All of them. She looks to you and looks to the fruit. Looks to the men, the male Nosferatu, and smiles this wickedly wide, toothy grin. And she says, "All of you sit. Me first." She takes it and grabs it off of the cart and sinks her teeth in an extremely wide, like almost unhinges her jaw like a snake. Delicious. Take them. And she walks away. And as the other three pile
dive.
on, just
Yeah.
dive onto it like hungry dogs. And for a moment, those three seem completely distracted, and she's walking away.
Hell yeah. Alright, now we wait for it to take effect.
Yeah. So what do you do, Danny? After after just a moment, the three are just a mess of a little bit of blood left on the cart, and they begin to lazily walk back to their spots.
I think she just retreats. That's her role. It's like, serve them, leave, right? Unless she has a plan.
Ash doesn't have a plan.
Okay, so you just back out
Okay.
then? Okay.
I didn't want to tell you have to leave, but I was like, I mean, maybe you had some other gambit you were gonna do. I didn't know.
I do want to take a look around. Does she see anything that's
Give me a perception
interesting?
check in the tower.
Yo?
You are so lucky I gave them disadvantage because I just rolled a nat 20. Alright. And then this duder. Let's see, defense, that save, and that save. Okay. Okay. After 10 minutes or so, you can refocus if you used any focus spells at this point. Zeviid, I think you did something. Doesn't matter. You get it back. But after about 10 minutes, you see through the window this Nosferatu in the southwest corner begin to writhe and shake. And it appears to be as though he's even seizing on the ground, like he's having a seizure. And the thrall is up above him. He's up against a wall, terrified, not knowing what to do, and he sees and you can look left and you see the other one at the north end of the hall seizing on the floor like this, and again the other thrall, terrified, not daring to touch its master, not knowing what to do. What do? You can't see the rest from here.
I like to stick my head in and see what happened to the rest of them.
The one to the east, a same exact thing. The Nosferatu seizing on the floor, and its thrall doesn't know what to do, but you can't see the woman from there.
Are the thralls undead, or are they just...
No, they're not undead. They're immortals. With your
Okay.
necromancer's visage, you can tell that
Okay.
they're just humans.
How long do we know that her poison's gonna last?
It's for a while. It's going to be pretty bad. Might even
Okay.
kill them if it's powerful enough.
So that means that these thralls they can't do anything really. This isn't like
They don't know what to do.
Alright, I mean, I think they're harmless then, because their masters are disabled and we are far more powerful than they are. So I think, at least it seems that way. So I think we just go through. I think we walk and say, good day. Stand out of our way, or we will slaughter you the way that we have already disabled your masters.
None of them even say anything. They're just...
Good.
And I say, let's be careful just in case one of them it didn't affect. And then I'd like to put myself at risk and go ahead of people just in case.
Okay. And you can see this one is frothing at the mouth. It's clearly experiencing horrific pain and poisoning. It doesn't notice you're there. Its eyes have rolled into the back of its head. Coming around this corner, you see that the Nosferatu Malefactrix has blood. Her eyes have exploded, and there's tears of blood down the side of her face as she rolled a nat 1, nat 20 at disadvantage.
Oh my god.
Nat 1, nat 20, disadvantage. She's fucking dead. So,
Oh,
Conne, your poison worked very well. The other two will not be far behind, but it worked extremely well on her.
I guess, is this a window or a door that I'm in front
That
of?
is just a window. I can open that up.
Yeah, I want to take a look. I'm sure we all
Yes.
want to like look as we pass by it.
That is a window you can see down below, as before. You can see the gardens.
Oh yeah.
And there's
okay.
also a balcony outside. And I can open up a little more to show that. Got to trace though, so it'll take a second. There you go.
Okay.
And there's a little more right here. Yeah, that's what you see.
Okay, all right. I see what's going on here. Nice little view. I'm gonna keep moving. Don't want to waste too much time here. Step over the body of this.
She's very dead.
I'm like, damn. Could have been a totally different story if she just was not a Nosferatu with her buck teeth. Ugh.
I have a question. Is there anything worth taking? Anything interesting?
No, this
No.
area is disgusting. Rotting pillows, rotting carpets, and now 4 dead Nosferatu, and I think 5 human thralls who do not know what to do with themselves. They're probably just going to be running away any moment. That's why I'm just taking everything off the map. So there are 2 exits here, Zeviid. There's one in the door you're at, and there's a door where Wyssilka's at.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 2.
I see.
Yes. Right where Charlie is.
Do I feel any necromancer's visage behind these doors?
Neither. Well, let me double check. Give me a lore on death in the tower.
Ooh.
And
wait,
advantage.
tower, shit.
And, no, it's okay. Roll it again
Well,
because
good.
you have advantage,
Good.
actually. You have advantage because of Wyssilka's right next to you.
Alright,
I specifically have in my notes... You can have guidance. I specifically have my notes if Wyssilka's nearby, she gives advantage.
Okay, it's gotta be better than 1.
It was, significantly. So, Wyssilka stops you and goes, "Wait, I smell something. Another one of the smells from that laboratory that changed me. It's coming from under this door. You might want to put on your gas mask, Conne." Right? I guess her voice is a little more up here because it's coming from Charlie. You might want to put on your gas mask, Conne.
You got it.
I wanna also... I'm getting just because I'm a little nervous, I wanna call in the Hollow Serpent.
Okay.
I was already kind of
comes-
moving it over here.
Oh, sure, yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
So it
there we go.
slithers up to you.
Conne, if you want to go in on your own terms, you may, but I would like to offer the services of our friendly serpent here if you want to have like a guise to kind of slither in.
That might be nice. Does the door happen to be locked?
It is unlocked.
Okay.
Okay, so let me open this up for you then. As you open the door to this dark room, a thick green fume cloud begins to pour out along the floor. It's very slow, but it pours out like a college dorm room. In the center of the room sits a large stone pedestal, on top of which is a large bulb slowly and rhythmically spurting out clouds of green spores. On the southeast wall is a series of crystals, some of which elicit a dull blue glow.
That's like every college dorm room I've ever seen. It's all right.
Crystals in a dull
pouring
blue glow,
green
pouring
gas.
smoke.
That it's like, yeah, bro. Crush a beer can, throw it into the green gas around your blue crystals. All right. So where's the gas coming from? Actually, is it coming from
There's
the
a flower in the center. It's like a big flower bulb. This thing right here. It's
Does this
shooting
gas
out
affect
spores.
Dani?
No, because she is undead, and it will not affect Wyssilka because she is a ghast. But Wyssilka tells you,
I recognize this smell. This has something to do with what changed me. Or this has something to do with what changed me into a gas.
Do you want to disable it, capture it, kind of leaving it up to you, Conne, if you want it like as a sample for something, if you don't already
I'll
have
try
one?
to sample it, you know.
"All right, give me a crafting, and you can have help from, let's see.
You know,
Wyssilka
I also,
working with.
also, by the way, Dani, you could speak to it if you wanted to. Just ask it to stop, like, farting out these spores and let us pass.
I was about to say. That's
an
why I
also an
asked
option
about
didn't
Dani.
consider. Yeah.
Yeah, you could try that. You have speak with plants,
Yeah. I'm
and you're
gonna
undead.
Hey, can
So
you
we
stop
wanna
having IBS?
Hey, Ghoul Flower, could you, like, not do that?
Cool flower. Come on. Yeah, so you can walk right into that room, Dani.
Yeah, I'm gonna just walk right in. And then
you like activate speak with plants, and all it's going, you're like, uh-oh, stinky, uh-oh, and you're like, oh, we gotta kill it. We gotta kill this thing.
So what do you say to the flower?
as she is like, she walks up to it, she casts it. I imagine it just like in her face, and just is like, I need you to just stop your smoke right now. I have 3 other people that need to come through, and you're kind of stinking up the place.
I mean, intimidation publicly. I don't know if you're even trained in that, but you have good charisma, so...
Actually,
Oh, 24, yeah, you're not terrible at it. You are trained, that's good. Oh, it's not nearly that high.
I can't imagine like Dani and
Oh my god!
Nat 20 for a
Nat
44.
20.
I can't
I was
imagine
about
Dani
to suggest,
nat
like,
20.
here, take these hedge clippers for a little bonus here, but you don't need that.
You're so
Fantastic.
disgusted.
she's
So-
so frustrated with it.
The bulb says,
I would love to stop. I can't. The crystals force me to. They've... night and day. No rest. Destroy those.
What crystals?
On the
The
wall.
blue ones?
Can I destroy the crystals?
you can, yeah, you need weapons or some magic, something.
Here,
I'm gonna take-
not the hedge clippers, take this pickaxe.
You have a pickaxe,
I do have a
canonically.
pickaxe, actually.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you-
take the. Hold on, I have something. I have a magic weapon, I think.
You have a dagger, I think.
Yeah, she's just like, with that intimidation, can she just be like really like upset and walk over? She just starts like attacking the crystals.
Yeah, with the pickaxe was given to you by Zeviid.
I had it
so-
with this fucking place.
A bunch of the Doom song kicks in as you start to smash the crystals up on
Oh
the
wait, that...
That's Gur's Doom song.
Gur's Doom song! You thought,
No,
oh my
Gur's
god.
Doom song.
Sorry,
You
that is
didn't
the
miss
first...
a beat, Elliot.
was
You were
great.
just like, dude.
You managed to smash this to bits, and finally
That's wonderful.
the glow on the bloom ceases, and it stops spewing spores. And it says,
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's been so long.
Okay. Oh. Thank you for gassing out the room.
Yes, you're welcome.
Is there anything you have that you'd like to tell us?
No. They come
Ask
and
for
go
a sample.
sometimes, but none ever go into this room to the north.
and you can see there are 2 doors in here, one to the northwest and one directly north of you.
No one ever goes through this door except the Pallid Princess herself.
Thank
Pleasure.
you. You have been very helpful.
You were
And
helpful to
disgusting.
me. Thank you for getting me to stop.
Very welcome. Now, go back to sleep. Okay,
And
guys.
the magic fades.
I turned it off.
All right. What's the deal with these doors? I think this one goes to that balcony, but what's that other one?
We go through this one. What's the word that they use? The Pallid Princess?
Oh,
Pallid Princess.
Urgathoa.
Urgathoa.
Well, wait. So before we go through, let's check out these other doors just in case. There's one down here I was looking at. Maybe it's just a utility closet, but now I'm curious.
Oh, you want to go to the bottom one? Sure.
I just
Yeah.
imagine like Rhys comes up like, why was there so much noise? Oh, I beat the shit out of some glowy orb things.
Oh,
Crystal things.
you mean the blue cheese crystals?
Oh, it's just another balcony.
Outside balcony, but it's much larger than the other ones.
I may also feel a little bit better.
Good.
I'm gonna run over here to see what's over there. Oh, ooh.
As soon as you round that corner, your necromancer's visage pings kind of from the far north building, that one that's sort of slanted on the northeast. But it's not so much that you sense an undead, more that you sense necromancy. As though a necromancy spell was cast at some point.
Okay. I just wanted to get a lay of the land here. I see that there's like a door here, and I saw that there was a door here, so I'm like, that's probably connected. So I'll just, I'll relay that, and I'll say, like, all right, one more thing, and I kind of squint, and I go over to this door. So I noticed there was like a closet or something over here.
That is there's a little hidden door, well, not a hidden door, it's a dilapidated small door. And it's just a short hallway connecting to the room where the War Master was in, and at the far west side is a large, or let's see, flanking the north and south are two statues of what appear to be human women holding a sword and a shield, and on the western wall hangs a silvered mirror which shines a dull blue light.
I quickly tell everyone, hey, we're gonna go look at this enchanted mirror. If I don't come back, I'm inside the mirror and help me, okay? I go to the mirror. That's trust right there.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'm
D4
gonna
publicly.
check out this thing in a god's palace that probably will kill me, but you guys got it, right?
Roll a D4 publicly.
Ah, D4. Oh, here you go. A 3.
You see yourself standing upon a battlefield of sand, your allies dead at your feet, Rovagug upon the horizon coming towards you.
What does
The image
Rovagug look
fades.
like?
Massive arms, teeth, claws, just as you have seen every representation of him in.
But no discernible body, head, face, eyes. Just it's all
Mouths.
spiky stuff.
Spikes and mouths and claws.
Weaponry and
Yeah.
mouths. Yes.
Like in a dream when you're being chased by a thing, just raw. And then it
I
fades away.
look and I'm like, that's very disturbing, but also I see the appeal. That was fucking badass. All right, I'm just gonna pretend that that's not the future and that's a possibility, or it's something to torment me or something like that. I'll tell everybody, hey, this mirror fucks with you, but I got to see Rovagug. Very cool.
Can I go to it?
It might show you something that'll mess with your brain, so just be
Anyone-
aware.
Just like the last 4 years.
Roll a D4
Yes.
publicly.
Hold on.
I
Trying to
think
grab
just
it.
for the funny, Rhys is gonna be like, Danny, no! And follows her. And I'm gonna roll one too, because.
Roll a 2, roll a 2, roll a 2. Ah, 3,
Huh?
Danny, you look in the mirror, and you see yourself as the maid of honor at Rhys and Mythanar's wedding. You're crying
Aw.
because, of course, you are. It's a beautiful day. There's bells and doves, and then the image fades.
I say, isn't it fucked up? Isn't it like crazy?
Oh, it was so lovely. I seen these guys.
Rovagug's not lovely. Well, I mean, maybe from a certain perspective,
I'm
I
not
suppose.
Rovagug.
I saw you all dead, like on a battlefield of sand. Just me standing and Rovagug like coming along the horizon. A giant wall of arms, teeth, mouths, and like claws just on the horizon. A body
did
as big
Rhys
as the
see?
entire horizon.
I was the maid of honor of my brother and Rhys. Mine was a lot better.
Okay, what did Rhys
Fuck,
see?
that's way better than mine. Well, I guess I kind of liked mine though. I didn't like you dying,
Okay.
but
We have to find out what we see.
Yeah, yeah.
Rhys, you look in the mirror, and you see yourself, and the inch shards are burning. You're standing on top of the peak, the first inch shard Lux Et Umbra ever found. At one point you traveled to it, and you're looking out across Galarian, and you're seeing all of them burn. Like the pyres when Gondor calls for aid in Lord of the Rings, and you see fires off in the distance. Every inch shard, you can feel them burning in your mind, because you have a sense of where they all are. Every inch shard is burning. And then the image fades.
That was
Did you see a wedding,
awful.
too?
Come
No,
on,
the enchureds were burning. I felt it. I felt every single one. I don't even know where they all are, and they were on fire.
I stand with Rhys and I'm like, bad visions. All right, that's what this mirror does.
All right,
And you
Conne,
are
you
weird,
go
Daddy,
try.
for getting a good vision. That's not normal, I think.
Conne, you find yourself at the Galarian The equivalent of the Nobel Prize. You're on stage awaiting the end to see who gets the prize. It's down to you and your rival. You can't even remember their face. They're cloaked in shadow. And then the image fades.
Their rivals are like a rabbit folk or something, or a cat or some antithesis to Conne that's like super nice and would never do the shitty things that Conne does.
What did you see,
She's like
Conne?
shaking the mirror, like, what happens next? What happens next?
Okay, above table, what is the deal with that mirror?
Roll me Arcana's in the tower.
Oh,
yeah,
Arcana or
okay,
occult
cool.
I will
control.
assist. I will assist.
Okay, so public Zeviid.
I'll assist Conne. I think Conne has a really high Arcana, so here.
Yes.
True.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Oh
Net
my
20.
god!
Very
Nice.
good, Zeviid.
I didn't mean to
very
do the
good.
tower.
So
'cause-
Zeviid, you realize that...
No, I'm assisting.
Oh,
That
you're
was an
assisting.
assist.
I
Yeah.
see. So and Rhys, you're assisting, or who's happening?
I was assisting because I think that Conne's Arcana is higher than 23.
I think that's true.
Yeah,
So
mine
Conne,
is
you
20,
can
yeah.
have 4 because they both rolled exceptionally high.
Woohoo!
So
Right.
Arcana. 45.
45.
Fantastic. Yes. Conne, you realize that this mirror is a sort of scrying divination mirror. It can show you possible futures, but with an extreme emphasis on eliciting an emotion in you, whether good, bad, neutral, or indeterminate.
So mine was good.
Yes, you rolled a 1 for good. Zeviid and Rhys rolled 3 for bad, and Conne rolled 4 for indeterminate.
What was 2?
Neutral.
I'm really
It would have been like
glad
you
I
make a
got
sandwich or something.
3. When I think about the vision, I want to think about details from the vision. Were we alone on the battlefield? Was there nobody else that was fighting with us?
There were other bodies, scores of bodies, armies, your side, the enemy's side. You saw the destruction of the mole mech. You saw giant bones in a pile, Zeviid. That sticks out in your mind. Titanically sized bones. You saw a big pile of destroyed wood and branches and brambles, and you saw the body of a huge beast.
So, I learned something from this. Our plan, as is, isn't good enough. At least with one aspect of it. And I think I know what I have to change. Well, at least something that changes, I think, gives us a better advantage over this. Because everything that we were planning was represented, and it's seeing us fail anyway, right? So I'm thinking there's a different direction I could go with something, because we haven't made a decision on this yet. And that change might be enough to give us a completely different outcome. So we'll see.
I will point out that you noticed that your friends were dead. Your mortal friends were dead at your feet. If
Yes.
they were more than mortal, perhaps you could change that.
Yes. I'm thinking. Damn. There's 2 options here. Above table. Sorry, I don't want to be opaque with this. I have the option to raise Eshtabai's body as a undead sort of champion to fight for us. However, a giant skeleton, as cool as that is still a skeleton. There is a very sharp limit to how powerful that can be. As cool and as amazing as it sounds, it's really not that crazy. If you could have an ancient dragon or the skeleton of a titan, I'd almost always go for the dragon, because the dragon is smart, it can fly, it has a bunch of elemental things, and it can do a lot. It's very mobile. The titan's cool, it might have a lot of hit points, and it might hit really hard, but it's probably slow, and it probably doesn't think very well because it's a fucking skeleton, and then once it's destroyed, it's bones, you know? So, if I did that, I could use the Shadow of Urgathoa use its power in a way to give us all sort of demigodhood, and that would make us immortal. It wouldn't make us gods, but we would not be. We'd be more than your regular. We'd be like Hercules types. We'd be demigods, which would be great. So in this vision, I neither did that, nor did I restore Eshtabai. I rose his body, chose to make him a thrall. Meaning, in this vision, I think I must have. This is if I were to stick with my OG god, Kabriri. If I were to do everything Kabriri asked, we would fail. I think is what's going on here. So, I want to bring back Eshtabai, but if I do that, I can't make us demigods. I think I gotta kind of make a choice here, because either all the divinity goes to him to resurrect him fully, and then we have a fucking new god that is now on our side. That's basically a flip. Who Urgathoa was becomes Eshtabai on our side. You know what I mean? However, the gamble is I don't know a fucking thing about this guy. He could be a prick. He could be like Kabriri. He could be an asshole.
He could be worse.
So, and if I betray Kabriri, then Kabriri might just step out of the fight entirely, be like, fuck this shit, and not fight at all, right? So, there's a very big risk there. I wanted to bring Eshtabai back, but I don't know if I can do it. If I did that, it would have to be... I would have to do something else, and I think I know what I would have to do, but I don't know if I can do it.
We'll discuss it later.
We'll discuss that later. Anyway.
Can I say...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I say something? Like, while Zeviid is, like, deep in thought, like, Dani just kind of, like, turns to him. And she wants to read his mind. Because she's never seen him this distraught, and we're getting ready to, like, enter a big battle and all of that.
Can I tell you're trying to read my mind?
Can you? Can he?
Yeah, he would be able to tell because you have to cast a spell for it.
You
Can I
cast
do
a
it
spell? It's imagine like Sherlock Holmes goes, I would go into my mind palace or whatever. So there's like my mind palace is like a shack in Shadowfell. And you're up at the front door, and you know what I'm thinking about is like within the boundaries of the shack. What do you do?
And you, Zeviid, would know that as long as you don't speak out loud, Kabriri can't hear you. Your thoughts are your own.
I walk through.
I hear like a and the door open, and I don't protest, but you see a little flowchart. I've got like a chalkboard, and I do this, and I point to the board. On the board, you see sort of like a variety of options. There's like a blotch that looks like there's like a circle, and then a shadow of the circle, and then the circle has like arrows coming out of it to see like what do we do with the shadow. Resurrect Eshtabai, which things are written in a pigeon so that even if there was Zeviid had like another, or not Zeviid, Kabriri had another thrall to read my mind, just like this is happening now, might not understand what all this means, but you would, because I'm writing in, what languages do we share? We share something that's
We
like
share
uncommon.
Shadow
Shadow
Tongue.
Tongue and Elvish, I think.
I think I would use Shadow Tongue because it's less common, but like, I kind of point, and so you're understanding. Option 1, bring Eshtabai back. Big risk. Could no matter what, we're betraying Kabriri, so Kabriri is removed, and Eshtabai could be a big asshole, and we don't get any power up from this. Eshtabai might be thankful, and I could be a cleric of Eshtabai right after that. I could just jump over. I'd be free of Kabriri, but then Kabriri, he's put in all these resources. He might still fight against the enemy, but then he would be our enemy for forever after. Or he might step out and be like, fuck this, you're on your own. I don't think he would join the others. I don't think he would go against us. But he could step out of the fight if this happens. Option 2. We take the shadow and make us demigods. This gives us a boost in power. It also makes us immortal functionally, which is fun. But that's not really the main thing. It's we're no longer mortal, meaning things that would affect mortal creatures don't affect us the same way, which gives us a little bit of I think it gives us an edge, the edge that we need if we're going to fight a god like Rovagug, which we have no real way of understanding how to beat right now. We still don't know what his weakness is. We know basically we're probably gonna have to imprison him again, and we don't know how we're gonna do that. So like we still have a lot of questions there. But this might be the way to go. However, that means we don't get Eshtabai. We get a big giant skeleton, which is cool, but not the same. And Kabriri is pissed because we didn't give him the Shadow of Urgathoa, so he doesn't get to become the new god of undeath. He's still just his little ghoul god self. So he'll be pissed, he'll be against us. We kind of don't get what we need there. Third option. Do what Kabriri says. Give him the shadow. He becomes the new god of undeath. He will honor his word to me so far as we have Rovagug as an enemy. He will never release me from his pact. I will be a slave forever. Afterwards, I will still be his Umbromancer, maybe even his prophet or his chosen, but it won't matter. I will just never be free until I die, and even then, I don't know if my soul's released. I don't think so. So,
No.
so it's we get to keep Kabriri. He gets the power boost. But we saw how that happened. I know I have that crossed out on the chalkboard. We know that doesn't work because I saw the vision of me doing what he asked. Doesn't work. We need to be demigods or we need a new god. And on the bottom, you see a another option. And then you see a representation of Kabriri. And whenever I represent Kabriri, I don't write his name. I just draw like the face of a ghoul. And you can kind of just tell that that's like him. And in this representation, there is an X across Kabriri's face, and then an arrow, and then the symbol for Eshtabai, meaning kill Kabriri and resurrect Eshtabai. Urgathoa makes us demigods. We get rid of Kabriri and get a new god that will not be a dick to me. And maybe that's the way to do it, but I dare not speak it. And you can tell I'm being very, I haven't uttered a sound in this I'm just like pointing very slowly and looking at your reaction to make sure you understand what I'm thinking and where my mind's going.
She just looks. I imagine this is all happening like in the mind's eye.
Mm-hmm.
And just.
In his brain shack.
Yeah. It just looks. Once she stops reading his mind, she's gonna walk up to him, give him a quick hug, and say, "You already know."
A nod. Meanwhile, as we're locked, our eyes are closed and we're locked in on this like telepathic sort of thing happening, and Wyssilka's just like chatting to us like we're paying attention or something. I don't know. Something funny's going on outside. Above table. This is how I think we could do it. Sorry to strategize. I know we still haven't even beaten the shadow yet, but once we have that shadow, I think we make like we're going to deliver it to Kabriri because he wants it, and we will finally have an audience with him. But this is after, so we have to kill Urgathoa, which by we I mean Conne, the god killer. You're
Yes.
gonna have to kill Urgathoa.
Yeah.
Does she have the weapon, or do we still have to go to
Not yet.
Asmodeus?
Have to go to Asmodeus first.
Got it. Okay. So that means Shadow. We book it to the Hells. Asmodeus. Intercept Urgathoa, hopefully at the Maelstrom. Take her out. Once she's taken out, Kabriri's going to want to make his move. He's either going to come to us or summon us to him. Either way, we have a choice to make. And I say we jump and we jump him. We use her shadow, make us demigods to give us the edge against him so he can't just wish us out of existence. And then we take out Kabriri, I take his shadow, use that to get Eshtabai back.
That is
now
an
this-
incredible gambit. Oh my goodness.
This is such a...
Love this.
But here's the thing, we have a lot of support, but we have something that nobody else has ever had the way that we're about to have it. we're about to impress the fuck out of Asmodeus, the Lord of the Nine Hells. I think with his support, and Kabriri's chaotic evil, he puts his lot in with like demons and shit all the time. So like, I don't think there's any love Asmodeus has for him. I think if we were to confide in him, yes, he's lawful evil, but we could make a pact with him, just like a minor one of secrecy. We speak of this to no one. You support us in this bid. We take this out. We bring out an old god who will then have you to thank for his resurrection. Will owe you a favor. The god of undeath owing you a favor is a big deal, right? So we have a thing that we could do for him. All we're asking is just give us the means to make this happen, right? I think that's a really sweet deal for him. I think he has a very long-minded like way of putting in plans that take a millennia to like really put the pieces in place for. This could speed things up by who knows how many centuries for him by having this stuff in place. So I think we have a chance. Obviously it's dangerous, and obviously if we go as we are without the shadow, we're in trouble. Yeah. But if we become demigods first, to just make us inured to gods just looking at us and being like, you don't exist anymore, right? Because gods can do that to mortals, unfortunately. They can fuck with them pretty bad. That's what I think would happen. We take Urgathoa's shadow, which depowers her, fucks her up, so she can't do that to us anymore, even though we're mortals. We go to Asmodeus, get the God Killer, take down corporeal Urgathoa. Once we do that, we still haven't used her shadow, because we need Kabriri to believe we're going to deliver it to him. So, once we have that audience, we absorb the shadow ourselves, become demigods, there's a fight, take his shadow, then bring Eshtabai back. Then we're demigods, and we got a new death god. How does that sound? Are people on board with this, or is that too crazy?
That's fucking awesome.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Y'all are staring down level 18 in a couple of sessions. This is the kind of shit you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just...
God
it's a double triple cross, right? But like I don't see a better way to stack the deck in our favor against Rovagug than to do this, because Kabriri is an ally, but again, he's a minor god. He's counting on us to uplift him, and then I don't get fucking dick for that, right? So that's not good, and we know
You're gonna
his
get table
plan.
scraps.
Yes, and that plan is going to fuck us over. Oh, fuck me over anyway. And we're gonna lose. No, we're gonna lose from the vision I saw. So I know that doesn't work. So it's like, I don't think we have any other options other than this. And I know it's a gambit, but like, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right?
We're gamblers. Let's go gambling.
Let's go
Let's do
gambling.
Heck yeah.
It's like that one episode where we just gambled everything.
Yes, that
great
was a
episode.
really good time.
Okay, thank you guys for hearing.
Gold from Doug Dimmadome.
Okay.
It was awesome.
That was so funny. You all were so mad. But yeah, I know we're getting a little close to time, but I want to do at least one more room. I want you to do the one that your necromancer's visage tingled on, Zeviid, when you were on the balcony, when you sensed necromancy, not an undead.
Okay, I kicked this door down.
Not that one. It was the one on the balcony on the outside.
Oh, I kick it down anyway. Should I not? Is there
No,
something
this
here where
one. This one has, if you kick it, it does blast you back. I need you to roll a DC 40 Fortitude save.
I was in a hurry. I don't.
You fail and take 98 spirit damage. You take 45 damage as you get blasted back and smash against the wall.
This is why we have Conne open up doors and not you.
I hit the wall. There's like a crater. I
A
like
Zeviid-shaped cartoon
vertical
crater.
Yamcha into the wall, and I like fall down.
Oh my
And I
god.
go, it's magic. It's magic. Blood comes out. It's not. This is not a lockpick situation. Urgathoa has this very strongly warded, and yes, that was dumb of me. Sorry. I hobble over.
That's what happens when you speedrun.
I hobble over this way, and I go, maybe we should try this door over here.
That one is just locked.
Alright, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I need a, let's see, 36, no, 40.
Zeviid
fever.
never opens another door again.
You can have guidance for a 1.
Sweet. That puts it ever so slightly more in my favor. It was a 50.
Oh,
Oh no!
Ooh, 35. Yeah, you're 5 off. It does not unlock. You break your lockpick.
Ah, damn it!
You could hero point or try another lockpick.
I'll hero point it.
All right. So then the +1. You need a 9, I guess.
Yeah. There we go.
There it is.
You know what you
God.
do? You break the lockpick and you're like, fuck it, and you take the little nib of what's left of the lockpick, and just with your claws, you're able to do it.
Yeah.
So you're able to get this opened, and there we go. The small room has several smashed wooden pews along the southern wall. A white marble statue lie in 100 pieces upon the floor to the northwest. In the center of the room is a wooden pulpit and a piece of parchment with something written on it, though it has aged barely being legible.
Come on in. It's suitably spooky in here.
I can't see. It's alright. Oh, in here.
Walk in.
Oh, I see. Anything of interest besides the parchment? Or is that
yeah, there's a smashed statue that Conne is standing on. It's in like 1,000 pieces.
Is like mending a thing in here?
I think so, but
I would say
think
Conne could use it with her crafting.
Yeah.
there's also
She'll try to piece it together.
yeah, there's object reading or something like it's a spell that allows you to like learn the history of an object and like what
Yeah.
place around it.
Take a +1 and roll a crafting probably, Conne.
Roger that.
It's just a 3D jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, that's,
46.
that was exactly a crit. The DC was 36. So you're able to put this thing together, and after a few minutes, you recognize this face. You've seen a statue almost identical to this. Back in the castle of Druma, the church that Demirius rebuilt, in the St. Danica's Basilica.
Oh.
This is a representation of Sarenrae. You've seen almost this identical face before. Urgathoa has a smashed statue of Sarenrae. And you, oh no, never mind. That's all you see is that it looks just like Sarenrae.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? I did not expect to see a statue of her in a baton.
Yeah, right.
I want to pray over it.
And you only know one prayer to Sarenrae. It's the one that's on that image, that statue. And as you're reciting this, the parchment in your hand, Zeviid, the words start to glow on it. And you can see in Elvish, which you read, as Dani's saying it, the words light up. As the darkness pulls away, may your light find a way. May it shine hope and guide to redemption. May it guide my blade through the wicked and protect the helpless. May it heal the weak and warm the path you have set before me. You've heard this so many times. Demirius says it every morning when he does his prayers, his preparation. This is a prayer to Sarenrae. This is a church to Sarenrae. And Zeviid, you remember something odd. You remember that Ilkana Alinor, in life, before she was a priestess of Urgathoa, she was Danica's handmaiden, and who both were a faithful of Sarenrae.
Danica, my mother.
Danica, your mother.
So the statue that we saw, the one that you revealed, isn't necessarily that statue with the two is not Sarenrae and Danica, but rather Danica and Ilkana, perhaps, of like the parting, the falling out of them, that represents a falling out between Urgathoa and Sarenrae or something like that.
You're getting very close. You're
Really?
getting tantalizingly close.
Has he rolled a religion check?
I didn't roll a religion check
Didn't.
yet.
Yeah, roll it with advantage in the tower.
Can you take guidance?
Sure, advantage +1.
All right, I just add it in our heads here.
Sure.
Cool.
I will
more
give
is
you a
fine.
hero point.
No, he
Well,
has
hold on, I
advantage.
got an advantage first. All right, so 42.
42.
Secret of the Universe.
you're starting to see that there's a missing puzzle to the dogma of Sarenrae. You're not quite sure what it is, but it has something to do with Urgathoa. And somehow, maybe Saint Danica? She seems to fit in here somehow. Which, again, Saint Danica is Dani's mother.
Right. And as she's reading this spell, she's reading this prayer, or she's reciting it, and I see the parchment glowing with the restored statue here. Does something happen at the end of this?
The feeling you got earlier, that necromancy spell, gets deeper. You can feel it tugging at you from the northeast.
I say, guys, I'm gonna take the parchment with us, and I'm gonna say, I think there's something big happening here, and we need to go north to
Outside
find out
to
what.
the east.
Outside to the
Yeah, east. Yeah, there you go. That way.
Do I know where my mother's buried?
Her body was never recovered. She was torn to shreds.
Supposedly.
Supposedly. According to everyone who was there, like Demirius saw it happen. His master Zavrim saw it happen.
Do you think she's still around? Do you think it's just something that they said?
Oh, I don't know, but I think we will learn a lot more if we enter this room here.
This small mausoleum sits outside the main palace, upon a scenic cliffside facing outwards towards the swamp of Bloodrot, with the cinder furnace, realm of Juriel, far in the distance. The metal doors contain intricate curved carvings. And I was going to make someone roll a society check, but since Dani is here, you recognize the carvings on this door as Castravelli. You've seen it on ruins on the planet Castravel. Something to do with the indigenous elves. This is very different architecture and design from the rest of Bloodrot. This is very, very Castravelli.
What's in the mausoleum?
I'll need athletics checks to move the stone doors open. Rhys,
Yep, I
need
gotcha.
a 36, please.
Oh
Should be able to do
god.
that. Yeah, Conne, you can help.
I'd like to.
I'm good.
Oh, Rhys has got it. Good. Yeah, Conne, you still help, so that's, what is it, 28? Yeah, or 38?
She says, "You can do it. I believe in you."
Yeah, 40. Cool. You get a cool 40. Good enough. So, you open it up. There we go. A little more. Within the stone building lies 4 sarcophagi on the right and left sides, 3 of which are smashed and empty. A desiccated humanoid corpse lays atop the 4th. There is an inscription carved in a bizarre but familiar script. I believe Rhys and Conne speak Castravelli, correct? Yep. So the two of you, and I will put this in the chat here. Copy it. Copy, paste. Here lies Hierophant Caspian Evenheart, Lord Protector of all Gozray's children.
Who the heck?
Oomst the fuck?
Good thing you have a necromancer who can speak to corpses.
Yeah, right.
But also, throw me perception checks in the tower, everyone, first.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Oh, in
the
the tower,
dryer.
sorry.
That's okay.
That's dead even, so.
The dryer's gonna go off a second time for like 8 full seconds, so just FYI.
Sure, thanks. Okay, so that's all of you. You're looking around, and you see this. All 3 of the other sarcophagi have been smashed to bits, and there's no bodies. But Dani, looking around, you find one chunk that it has recognizable words on it. You can't read it, but Conne and Rhys can. And I'm posting it in chat here. It says, "Here, High Arch," and on the right side it says, "Cyril Evenheart, Thys."
Nethys, for sure. Somebody of Nethys, Archmage, and Hierophant of Nethys. One is of Gozray, one is of Nethys.
One's an archmage, so yeah, probably.
That would make sense. Gozray and Nethys. Oh, here it is.
Good call. I want Dani to roll me intelligence at advantage.
Just a straight intelligence roll.
Mm-hmm. Just roll it twice.
Druid is a primal. Nethys is arcane magic.
I assume.
22, natural 19 on an intelligence check. Dani, that name there, High Archmage something Cyril. Your grandmother's name is Tessarael. And she's powerful Archmage of Nethys. Seems weird.
Is this my grandmother?
No.
Isn't she alive though?
Well, there's
Yes.
no body here, right?
There's no body. There's one body, but it is clearly not her.
Big, talking corpse.
Okay,
Let's go. All right, I cast talking corpse on this corpse. This is of the Hierophant, right?
Hierophant Caspian
Caspian
Evenheart.
It comes up, right? Does it work?
Yes, it's very dried and preserved. It's a desiccated corpse. But you can see that the spell has taken hold.
What was the ultimate fate of... What's her name? Cath'Shaz
Telandia Tessarael Evenheart.
Telandia, Tessarael, Evenheart. So, like, what was her final... What has happened to her? Based on what he remembers.
We sent my beloved wife and our daughter to the future.
So I turn, I go, so this was more... There is no body. She really did go to the future, so she's not dead. This was, I guess, maybe to make people believe she was. Turn back and say... Wait, no.
Dani, this is your what now?
Wait a second. Daddy. Dani. The child went too. Your mom is from the past. Your mom is from the past.
And also, what does that make this man?
You're my grandfather?
You just... Well, actually,
Since
I have to
that
ask
wasn't
the questions.
Zeviid, I will not
Yeah.
be a dick. That does not count.
Yeah.
Oh, I
I'm gonna
could
say
be
we
so
can
mean.
infer that this is the truth. I'm gonna let the spell, like, I'm gonna leave it to stay so she can look at him, like, as he's like moving around and stuff.
He's clearly an elf. His skin is very taut and old because he's been here probably 28,000 years. Because that was how long ago
Christ.
Telandia was from.
I like take a step back and I'm just like, so she's like a Neanderthal elf.
This explains kind of a lot, actually. She has no sense of direction.
She doesn't
We're
have a
talking
heavy brow ridge though. I expected something like that.
Are we talking about me?
Huh?
What? No, no,
What?
no.
What? I'm right here.
We still have 2 questions for your grandfather here, by the way. I would like to know, so Saint Danica Arion. This guy was a Gozray, a Lord Protector of all Gozray's children, I think, is just the idea of, like...
All of nature.
All of nature. So I don't know if he's specifically a follower
That's not a
of Gozray, but-
specific. Well, he is
Yeah.
a follower of Gozray, but it just means he's a protector of nature.
Got it. We have to be very careful with our next 2 questions. I want to know more about what's going on in that church. So maybe we can ask a question regarding the nature of Seren and Urgathoa. Perhaps that would yield some sort of result. What do we think here?
Yeah, the statues are rather confusing at this point.
what do you know of the relationship between the goddess Sarenrae and her saints and the goddess Urgathoa, or the one who would become goddess, should she not be a goddess at that point?
My daughters were both faithful to Sarenrae for so long. But then, my eldest, Urgathoa, had a falling out and a crisis of belief.
She your auntie!
Time to kill your auntie, baby!
What?
She auntie!
I've been
But
sitting
she's
on this
in
for so
hell!
long.
We have one more question. And we should ask that question, and then I think we should wrap up, because I gotta
That'll be
go.
it. Yep.
I'll leave it to you, Dani. This is you. What do you want to ask?
I don't even know. This is such a revolutionary thing.
What is the destroyed area over here that I don't think we talked about? What is that?
These were basically they made a mausoleum in preparation for the whole family, is what you're getting the sense of. And he was the only one who actually died.
And there's not enough for all the children because Dani was born in the future.
That's correct. All of Dani and her siblings were born in the future.
Oh, well then who are the other ones for? Just like Urgathoa and then
Urgathoa and Danica and Talandia, his wife. His wife and his two daughters, essentially.
I see. What's this crushed up area over here? What's that?
That's just one of... Oh, over there? Again, it's just more of the wall that's fallen. This place has fallen into disrepair. Urgathoa clearly has not come in here in a while, but you're starting to get the sense that she may have come in here and smashed the other 3 sarcophagi in a fit of pique. Because it looks like they were destroyed, not just from time.
I don't know what to ask.
I think we should ask his preference about what we should do with his body now that he's in the bed. So essentially give him a hypothetical, because he can't learn new information, but we can ask him what he would do in a situation. So I'll ask.
Do you have any other things we need to know about it, or?
I'm sure he knows a lot about but we only have one question. I would have way more questions if we could actually talk to him. So getting the idea, what he would have wanted, I think would be a good idea first.
Should your body be relocated to one of the lower planes, such as a bad, would you prefer to stay interred in your family crypt, or would you prefer to have your body brought back to the boneyard or made unalive with undead magic?
The circle of life and death is an ever-spinning wheel. If I could help to undo the taint of what my daughter has brought to the world, I will aid in any way I can. Ashes to ashes, bone to power.
That's permission.
And I think this is where we're going to stop for this week.
Holy
Thank you,
shit.
everybody, for joining us for this rather world-shattering, pantheon-shaking revolution that Dani Urgathoa is your auntie, and she is your grandmother's daughter. We'll pick this up next time. We're not sure when it'll be. We'll let everyone know on the socials, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
She has a lot of explaining to